I love this song. I'm not kidding. I freaking love that song. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually put that song up in the audio portion of that song. So when the show starts, I'm gonna let the song play, but I'm gonna be over here dancing and jamming. I love that song. I don't know why I love that song so much, but it gets me in the mood to just dance. It really does. I like that song. But anyway, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Madchurchdisease podcast. Shout out to all of you that are in the chat with me. I know I am on early because I normally come on in about another 45 minutes or so, but I just decided to start my live early today because I wanted to. And I just did. I don't want to be here until 7 and 8 o'clock at night. I just wanted to pretty much come on early and have my conversation with you guys this Friday and have it. Now, y'all know Fridays is a free for all. This is a time when we allow everybody, all the content creators and everybody who wants to chime in on the conversation to chime in on the conversation. And nothing is going to be any different. I don't know if Daryl is still asleep, because the last time I spoke with Daryl, I was out shopping, and he was nodding off when I came back to the house. I dropped the link. I'm going to pin the link to the top of the program tonight. I got to go back over there and watch Regina and the Juice Radio. Y'all go over there and watch Regina later. Regina's talking about, is there anybody loyal anymore? Boy, isn't that a good question. That's a very good question. I went in her chat for like a hot second and I told her, I said, I just came over here to answer the question. And the answer is no. I was like, no, I'm gonna answer the question for you. No. So don't be expecting these people. Don't be expecting these people to be loyal. So don't expect it. That's for sure. But it is Friday. If you're unfamiliar with what goes on Fridays, this is what goes on Fridays. We actually, I don't know why I can't get this. Hold on, let me get over here. Hold on, let me go view my channel. Here we go. Let me turn this down. And I'm going to pin this. Yes, because this is Friday nights, and this is what I do on Friday nights. I like to make sure that we have. Did it pin it? No, that's the wrong message. Unpin that one. That's not the right one. Hold on. We're going to pin this one. Lord, I couldn't get the darn thing to pin. There we go. All right, you all. So yes. So that's what we do on Friday nights. We pretty much come on and we have all sorts of conversations. Content creators, we come on Friday nights, and this is more relaxed. I don't have I don't have any specific topics. We just talk about all of the topics that we've talked about and covered all over all of the week. Now, I did a private live earlier today, where I sort of showed you guys some more screenshots from Tiffany Montgomery. It's a good thing she don't start stuff with people, because it's the lies for me. It's just the lies for me. And I showed you guys some stuff with that situation. And so, and that was a private live, so you guys can see that. So let me just say this. Let me say this. This has been an interesting week. This has actually been a real interesting 2 weeks for me. Last week, I was the Lord was doing great things for me, and at the same time, I was facing some adversity. At the same time, like stuff was going really, really well, and I was having to deal with stuff at the same time. And then I started asking God, like, Lord, what's going on here? And I'm gonna tell you, God is just preparing me for something that I'm just not ready for yet. And he's preparing me, and I know it. I can hear Daryl Coley. He's preparing me. Y'all remember that? For something that I cannot handle right now. Y'all remember that? Handle now. He's making me ready, yeah. Just because he cares. Y'all remember that old song? I know we don't sing that kind of stuff anymore. Folks don't do that no more. But anyway, I just feel like God's preparing me for something. So that's that. But I was kind of thinking about that today, and also thinking about Norman Hutchins and how Norman Hutchins has sort of blessed my life over the years with his music and ministry. And so it was just I kind of went through some memory lanes. I've been playing some Norman Hutchins songs today, even singing Norman Hutchins while I was in the kitchen. And I even came on my private live today singing a Norman Hutchins song because I kid you not, it's been all over my mind. And I just say to his family, to his friends, and to everybody around, just rest well, sir. Rest well in Jesus. He was a kind dude. I like Norman Hutchins, so I'll just leave it there. I like Norman Hutchins. But you all, just an interesting week. We've had some interesting stuff going on, haven't we? And of course, I'm gonna be all over the place with this live, so y'all just strap in. You never know what could come out of my mouth. Me. That's my that's my Manasseh in prayer. Me. Let me get myself together here. So y'all get ready. You never know what come out of my mouth. But all of the people that you have seen on this thumbnail have crossed our paths this week in one way or the other. And there's a couple of other people that are not here on the thumbnail. And so I just endeavored to have a conversation tonight. So I have been going around on the internet, sort of perusing around and looking at some other content creators. Lord, you know what I come to discover today, and what hit me today? Get this. The content creators are just like the church. We divided. We totally divided. You got your Tiffany Montgomery side. You got your people who not on Tiffany Montgomery's side. You got your people who say they're not on either side, but they really are on the side, who try to pretend like they're in the middle of the ground. Everybody's divided. Tiffany Montgomery, let me just say this. If she ain't done anything else, she done divided. She has divided a whole bunch of people and stirred up a hornet's nest. And if God is not the author of confusion, then I have to believe that God was not in any of this, because there's a whole lot of confusion going around with this whole situation with her. And hey, Beautiful Ashes, and the whole thing, the whole time that I've been thinking and watching all these videos, you know what I kept thinking today? I kept saying to myself, y'all know I'm horrible. I kept saying, Lord, this is why I don't listen to any of these people. This is why I just refuse to listen to these dogmatic, everybody's going to hell but them, folks. I don't listen to them anymore. And I'm really grateful for it, you all. I'm totally grateful for it. I'm so thankful that I don't listen to these people. I really am. I was saying that to myself today. I said, Lord, I want to thank you in advance that I don't listen. Can y'all believe that Jonathan Ferguson, now he's got to be kicking himself in the foot. He has got to be mad at himself, and he probably needs to go to God and ask God, did you really want me to talk on these videos about this stuff? Because that one little blip of what he said on a video about Tiffany Montgomery done drug Jackie Perry in it, done drug her husband in it, done got a whole nother preacher. She running around talking about K-Dub. I mean, it just created a complete snowball. Like, am I the only one who's over here thinking he did a blurb and it caused all of this? It caused all of this because Jonathan Ferguson was sitting in a blue chair having a conversation on video, and he used this woman's name. Yeah, it's just, I'm astounded by it. I'm astounded by it. I really am. I have to be honest. and I'm not surprised, because I understand that most of these people, in my opinion, a lot of them are not authentic, and I don't waste my time. But I was just really surprised by it. I was really surprised by it. I really was. And I did go over there and pass by EJ. Of course, EJ's being EJ. I hope Lovie waxes the floor with him. And y'all just forgive me, but that's just how I feel now. I hope Lovey takes him through the mud. You hear me? I really do, because EJ is something else. He reminds me a lot of Tiffany Montgomery. He really does. He reminds me a lot of Tiffany Montgomery. He really does. That's just my opinion, y'all. He really does remind me of Tiffany. And the reason why he reminds me so much of Tiffany, because he's over there doing all of that foolishness with all of that stuff. All of that stuff. I'm just saying. Did y'all hear yesterday too? Did y'all get to see St. James's Live, where he talked about Tyrone Blackburn? I went over that in our private chat. We did a private chat. I know, Mary. That's me. I have nothing to give that dude no more. I really don't. And I used to be a EJ supporter. Now I'm just like, man, go on somewhere, dude. Go on somewhere. Okay. Well, you go tell Prophet Jeremiah Johnson, if that is his word. I think I might have even seen it. Was that on Facebook? I saw something today on Facebook where somebody was telling her to keep going. Y'all listen to me. God is not the author of confusing, and nor does God create all this dissension. So you trying to tell me that God is creating all of this mess? Oh, okay. I don't think so. I just do not think so. Not me personally. Not at all. I don't think God is the author of this mess. Not at all. That's just my humble opinion. Shout out to Belly Yellick. Shout out to Lynn Pearson. Thank you for the hearts. Denise, thank you so very much. Moni No Love, thank you. Dion, good to see you in here, Dion. All of the Bush people, Liv, it was good. Christine Parks, good to see you here. Who else is here? Nicole C, thank you so much. Jai, good to have you with me tonight. Christine, I think I said that already. Alex Corbin, good to see you here as well, Alex. Alex said popcorn ready. All right, Alex, we'll do our best. We just gonna have some conversation. Katrina, of course. Mary. I'm shocked. Oh Lord, did I make the chat members only? Wait a minute. No. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Because man, Darlene, thank you so very much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. I just saw that, Darlene. Thank you. Shout out to Darlene, and hopefully you'll renew your membership. So yeah, I did a private membership today where I talked about that, and I showed some people some stuff in there as well. And Lynn said it best. Welcome to the revolution. Thank you so much. Thank you for the revolution. And hey, guys, on Friday nights, I think I want some of you guys who support the channel, the members, the people who are members. If you're a member of my channel, I think I might make Friday nights a members chat where all of the members can come up on the screen and chat, but you just have to be a member. I just want to give you guys something extra to just chat with me and so forth. So I'm thinking I might do something like that on the members only, and just give you guys an opportunity to chat with me. Plus I might want to do that for content creators and people who are creating content. Hey Royal Ace, I just saw you up in here. Good to have you. We good, we chilling, we chillaxing. I know I'm chillaxing anyway. I really am. So yeah, but I don't understand why these people run around here talking about this girl is not creating any kind of dissension. I'm sorry. Somebody said I should open up my chat. Well, I seem to be doing all right. I'm okay. But see, when you open up your chat to everybody, you bring too much crap over here. And I don't be wanting all that crap. I don't need that crap. That's the only reason why I keep it. And the chat is open to everyone. The chat's open to everybody. You don't have to be a member to be in the chat. So the chat is open. The only thing is you have to be a subscriber to the channel. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, I don't, what's the point? You understand what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button. That's it. And then you can go on and chat away. Chat away. But see, this way, nobody can do these little drive-by things, when they come in to kind of, create havoc in your chat. That's why I do that. Life is good. That's live is good. That's why I do it. That's exactly why I do it. Because some people just like creating drama. And speaking of creating drama, when I spoke with St. James last night, it didn't even register with me at first when he was talking about when he said somebody was playing his live. Didn't even dawn on me. I was like, what? Huh? Because I don't be thinking about these folks. And when he said it, I said, oh, there, like my whole balloon got deflated. Oh my God. I was like, oh, okay. That's the thing to do. When you have to dispel people's lies and you're able to really dispel their lives and tell the truth, the only thing they can do is attack you. That's what they do. They come after you. It's amazing to me. They attack you. What you attacking people for? The truth is just the truth. If that's what Manasseh is saying about him and his father, and the reason why they don't rock with certain people anymore, it is what it is. I appreciate that. Thank you for falling out of the bushes. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Now you done fell out the bushes, you may as well stay. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. But I just find it to be interesting. I really do. But Jonathan Ferguson, that one little blip that he made, created all of these days of havoc. So Jonathan Ferguson, I have a question for you. Are you sure God told you to do this? Are you sure God told you to mention Tiffany Montgomery's name? Because this girl is something else. She's something else. I don't know. Jonathan, I'm gonna ask that question again. Jonathan, do you really think God told you to mention Tiffany Montgomery's name? I don't know, y'all, because it done went from Tiffany to it was him and her at first, and now that's another thing I want to talk about. Oh God, y'all hang on for y'all hats tonight, because I don't know where this conversation might go, but I got some other things I want to say. So Tiffany Montgomery is always concentrating on Jackie Hill Perry's look. Oh, she looks like a lesbian. That's what this is. I'm watching these videos today. Oh, she just dresses like a lesbian. Now, hold on a minute, y'all. Now, this where we gonna get into trouble. I'm watching all these content creators talk about, especially the dudes. They're too effeminate. These vloggers are effeminate. They're effeminate. Y'all listen to me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be laughing this whole thing. First of all, and I've had no wine. I should have went downstairs and got me some wine. I might take a break and go downstairs and get me some wine. But anyway, they go, oh, she dresses like a lesbian. And I said, Jackie Hill Perry is a married woman. Jackie Hill Perry has come out with a testimony where she says God has taken her out of what she deemed to be a lifestyle, right? And Jackie Hill Perry is married to a whole dude, right? Whole man. So not only do you go after her, you go after her husband. So you attack her and her husband, right? Let's think about this for a minute. Because you say she dresses like a lesbian. Now, here's my thing. I'm going to make some of y'all mad with this. Why? Who gets to say how a person dresses and what their deliverance looks like? If she feels like God has delivered her from whatever, why is it any of the other saints' business to say what type of clothes Jackie Perry should wear? She could be wearing those big flannel shirts because she has some insecurities that she's dealing with. She could be wearing those clothes like that because maybe she was molested or touched as a child and she don't want people to look at her a certain type of way, right? I've talked to women who that is their testimony. They wear big frumpy clothes because they don't want men looking at them because it makes them feel a certain type of way when a man is gawking at them. I've talked to women who said that. I literally have talked to women who say that. Who is to determine what Jackie Hill Perry is supposed to be wearing? And who made Tiffany Montgomery the authority to say who and what's going on in Jackie Perry's life? I don't follow Jackie Perry. I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know nothing about these people. I'm gonna just be totally honest. I don't know Jackie. I don't know her husband. For the little bit of information that I see through the social media, because let me tell you how I am. Now, Royal Ace. This is why I like Friday nights. Because I can concentrate on the comments. Listen here, Royal Ace. Now, don't be getting me distracted. And if he want to dress like an auntie, what's okay? That's what I wouldn't wear what he wears. But I wouldn't wear half the stuff these Christian men wear. I wouldn't wear some of the clothes these dudes be wearing. I wouldn't wear that stuff. I wouldn't wear it. But who's to say what her deliverance is supposed to look like? How dare Marcus Rogers and Tiffany Montgomery and all of these people get on their platforms and be hollering about Jackie Hill Perry is a lesbian, and that woman is a whole married woman with a husband, and she's giving her testimony. Who has that right? I don't understand that. I just don't get that. For me, Christians, we're supposed to be people who believe that if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. He's a new creation. Behold, all things have passed away. Maybe Jackie Hill Perry is not comfortable wearing dresses and high heel shoes. Let me tell y'all a funny story, because I got a million of them. I have this home chick that always used to wear tennis shoes. She never wore high heels. She never wore dresses. She loved men. She loved men, but she just always was in tennis shoes, and she just that's how she dressed. So one day we was in the mall and we was all walking around, me, her, and another friend. So we walking around in the mall, and just as a joke, we was like, hey, why don't you go in this store and try on some high heel shoes? And she was like, y'all need to quit messing with me about these high heel shoes, blah, 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 blah. Right. What's up, Sean Talks? So we was like, come on in the store and try on these high heel shoes. Let me tell y'all something. Making a woman who doesn't wear high heel shoes put on high heel shoes will have you dying. She couldn't even walk in the things. It was so funny. This is a grown woman. When I'm telling you, she's in her 30s, probably almost 40 some years old. She couldn't even walk in them shoes. We was on the floor laughing in the shoe store. When I tell you, then people probably thought we was crazy. Y'all should have saw her. I mean, you'd have thought it was a dinosaur. She was and we was dying. We was cracking up. Some people just don't wear that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. But who is folks to say what that woman is supposed to who's supposed to say that? Nikita, you're gonna have to speak English too, because I don't understand what you just said. I am thankful for old school church. We were taught to fast to bring forth them word. I don't understand what you meant by that. You're gonna have to help me out now. There you got me. You got me there. You got me. Nikita. I'm like, what? Listen here. I don't care. We were taught a lot of things in the old church, and a lot of that stuff was just as wrong could be. I don't care what nobody say. Some of that stuff did not possess the love of Christ. It had everything to do with people trying to modify folks' behavior. And modified behavior does not create saints of God. Just modifying your behavior don't change you. It really doesn't. The word changes you. The Holy Spirit changes you. But with all of these people just trying to tell folks what they're supposed to be. Now, let me ask y'all about this. Let me ask y'all about this too, because this is something that is another big thing of contention. My friend DeJuan did a thing not too long about these fraternities. So you know what I've been seeing over the last couple of days? Why does the goalpost keep moving? First, we were supposed to be talking about people lying on a person, and the person saying, and them calling the person a witch. But now the goalpost done moved to where you in a fraternity and you need to give up your fraternity. You done pledged to a wicked fraternity and all of this kind of stuff. Listen, I'm like, I can't keep up. I just cannot keep up. What are we actually arguing about? Can we stick a fork in what we arguing about and stick to that topic? Can we stick a fork there? At first, I thought we was talking about you was a witch, and then the subject moved to something else. I'm like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? God's favorite. I am confused. I am confused. Yeah, and you know Bobby Jones. Hey, hey, that Bobby Jones was tripped. Hey, 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 hey. That's my favorite Bobby Jones impression, because all Bobby did was talk to you. Hey, hey. Anybody could do what Bobby Jones did. Hey, 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 hey. Them girls would come in with that background and tear that thing up. Them girls was the business. That's what everybody liked to hear anyway, was the girls. Didn't nobody really care to hear no darn Bobby Jones. And we watched Bobby Jones because he was the only person that had the gospel music people on Sunday. Where else was you gonna go as a Christian on you feel what I'm saying? Where else was you gonna go on a Sunday except to go watch Bobby in them sequin suits? Oh, I used to love to watch Bobby. Oh my God, because he come out there with that microphone. I wish I had Bobby had the microphone, have his finger pointing. Hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. And the girls would come in there and hit their part. Lord, that Bobby was hilarious. Hilarious. Call Jesus. Yeah, that was the song. Friends are few. Don't get me started, Jesse. And money is too. The bills are due and the pressure's on you. You can look to the hills from which cometh your help. God made us a promise, and a promise he kept. Call Jesus. Come on. Where the church people at? Where the church people at? I'm just saying. I told y'all I'm church. What? We the real church people. I'm just saying. It's good to have somebody you can call on. Why are y'all like this? Why are y'all like this? Oh my God. And that darn Royal Ace, it's all Royal Ace's fault. I'm just saying too. I'm just saying. CR, it's always confusion. Always. Oh, listen here. That Bobby Jones era was something else. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But can y'all believe from the Bobby Jones era, we still are dealing with the same top gospel artists? We've had nobody really new in the mainstream that we can honestly say that has reached the heights of some of those folks, because the gospel music community is always supporting the same gospel artists. Listen, I love Fred Hammond and I like Kirk Franklin. Yolanda Adams, I'm here to tell you, I'm still listening to Through the Storm. To me, Through the Storm and Save the World was two of the best records or gospel albums to me. I'm just saying, Through the Storm carried me through some storms. You hear me? Because the storms of life will blow. They're sure to come and go. They meet me at a time when I'm calm and I'm doing fine. I'm just saying. I be so calm and doing good, and next thing I know, the storms of life show up. Some workers of iniquity is working in the background, you know. But I have to sometimes go through the storm so that I can see the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich, that addeth no sorrow. I'm just saying. Why y'all messing with me about this Bobby Jones? Y'all want to know my favorite Bobby Jones song though? For real, for real. Y'all want to know my favorite Bobby Jones gospel song? Lord, I want. Y'all ever heard that? To be a Christian. Y'all ever heard Bobby sing that? In my heart. Y'all ever? In my heart. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Bobby Jones gospel song. I swear. I know y'all probably thought it was the one with Beverly and all of them. Oh man. Well, who did I Told the Storm? Wasn't that Greg Quinn? I think that's Greg Quinn, isn't it? Wait a minute. Who said no, that's Royal Ace. Yeah, that's Greg Quinn, I think. Listen. I didn't even start it. That's Royal Ace. You got to blame Royal Ace for that one. I didn't even mention Bobby Jones. I didn't even mention him. That was Royal Ace. But anyway, he said Bobby's S curl was never dry. I swear. You know why? Because the sponsors of the show was Dudley Hair Care Products. This what? You ain't no real fan, Royce. You should have known why his curl was always tight and everybody's hair was always done and stuff. Mr. Dudley was the one that was over there with Bobby sponsoring all the shows and keeping the hairdos up. Come on, Royal. What's going on with you? Y'all remember Mr. Dudley? Y'all remember Mr. Dudley? Mm-hmm. I remember Mr. Dudley, and he passed away. But yeah, he's from North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. The Dudley Hair Care Company was in North Carolina. If my memory serves me right, I'm not really sure, but I think so. But anyway, but Tiffany is out here wilding out, y'all. She wilding out again. Y'all should go over to her Facebook page and take a look. I'm just saying, she's doing it again. She's doing it. She will not stop. She's like P. Diddy at a Diddy party. She just won't stop. Thought I told you that we won't stop. Thought I told you that we won't stop. What she say? Take this, take this, take this. You call me a witch, I got you. Take this, take this. I got them recorded phone calls. Take this, take this. And that what Puffy say? Thought I told you that we won't stop. We won't stop now. When that Puffy thing, I'm just saying. Tiffany is not going to stop. Once you get Tiffany going, it is impossible to get this girl to stop. Hilarious. And you notice how Ferguson is awfully quiet? I ain't even went back over there to see what he's saying. And think about this, you all. From Tiffany Montgomery and Jonathan Ferguson, we got Jackie Hill Perry. We got this other man who called her a witch. Then here came Demetrius Senegal and Brian Karn. And man, it just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. And we out here in the cesspool of Tiffany Montgomery's mess. And we can't even get out. It's like, please let us out, Jesus. That's my prayer. Get me out, Jesus. I swear to y'all, that's what I've been doing all day. Get me out, Jesus. Get me out. Get me out, Jesus. Please get us out. Nah, Jesse, believe it or not, I wasn't a club person. Jesse, the first time I had an alcoholic beverage, I was 25 years old. That's the truth. The first time I had a Long Island iced tea, I think I was either 25 or 26. Because I think I started with Long Island iced teas, and then I learned not to fool around with them no more. And I learned early that Hennessy was not my thing. Anything brown, no. Jesse, I had my first drink when I was 25. I went to my first strip club when I was 26, I think. I was 26 years old. And then it's been a downward spiral ever since. Not playing. I'm just playing. I did. That's the truth. I never went to clubs and stuff like that. And then when I did go to clubs, I was like, it's not for me. And some of you saints can understand. You go to clubs and people be looking at you like an oddball because you don't belong. You ain't got nothing but the oil of God on your life, and you over there trying to fit in with a bunch of people that you know darn well you don't fit in. Come on. You know darn well. Hey, Leah. Listen here. Mr. Dudley Mr. Dudley made money too. Mr. Dudley made money. And now Tiffany demanding to see your covering. I want to hear you now need to talk to your covering. Where you covering at? And you need to go ahead and let me hear your covering. Somebody said, not the club, laugh out loud. Donnie Simpson, Dr. Green Eyes. Here you go. Listen here, Royal Ace is on one tonight. I don't know what's wrong with Royal Ace. Jesse say he's been partying. No, Jesse, I was too scared to do that. I was in church, Jesse, first of all. I was somewhere praying to God and interceding for the people of the world. Going to shut-ins. Whole teenage years went by. Whole teenage. Somebody said, where is she from? Who from? Oh, y'all keep asking me that. I don't know where Tiffany's from. Daryl asked me that today. I said, Daryl, do you really want my answer? I said, well, if you really want to know where I think Tiffany's from, I said, hell. I think Tiffany Montgomery is from hell. She definitely lived right around the corner from Smoke Boulevard or Smoldering Avenue. I'm not lying. Tiffany, oh my God, this woman don't do nothing but create hell. Daryl fell out laughing. He asked me, he said, well, where you know where she from? I say, hell. I say, hell. That's the only place I can think that Tiffany's from. I'm just saying. Roy A said he had his first drink at 17. Well, technically, and we're gonna talk technically, I had my first drinks when I was a kid because I had parents from the 70s and they were flower children and stuff coming up through that stuff. So my mom and them tell stories that I used to pop the tops on Budweisers and stuff, and I'd be sitting there in diapers drinking. That's what they claim anyway. And that might be why I never drink, because I'm just saying. That's what my mom and them say. I don't know if any of those stories are true, but that's what my mom and them say. My mom and them say you couldn't leave a beer down nowhere near me, because if you did, I was grabbing it. But I think that's just because I was greedy. You know what I'm saying? I think I was just greedy then. That's what I feel. I heard there, Jesse. I heard Matthew Stevenson make a joke about that the other day. Oh yeah, just go outside and pick them. Oh man, that is too funny. That's why I like Friday nights, because I get to feed off of you guys. Think about no one knows about her. She's a persona that's probably not even, you might be right, T. You might be right. And it is bullying. That's all it is. It's major bullying. That is so funny. I was doing that too after church, but we doing everything else. All my first worldly experiences were, oh, me too, Sean. Oh, me too, Sean. Sean, that's why people don't understand people like me. They don't understand people like me. All of my friends were church people. To this day still, when you want to have a good time with me laughing and having a good time, all we're going to do is talk about church and all the crazy stuff that happened to us in church. We going to be dying laughing. Oh my God, I could tell you a million stories. And see, if you was raised in church, and I think this is another thing that people don't understand, all of the kids hung out together. Everybody hung out with everybody. All the church kids, the pastor's kids hung out with everybody. All of us hung out with one another. And it didn't matter what you were. Everybody hung out with each other and laughing and talking and joking and having fun. That's what we did as church kids. That's exactly what we did. Somebody said, does she have a man? She might need some her life to come. Well, that's what a lot of people say, but she says she's married. She says she married. She got a big, or she's engaged. But that's why Friday nights are so dangerous. Sean Renee, thank you so much for putting the color on it too. I appreciate it. That's why Friday nights is dangerous. Friday nights is dangerous because I might end up saying it. These kind of off the cuff shows are the ones that get me in the most trouble. That's why I be so nervous when I do these shows, because I just say whatever comes to my mind and people just be mad and I don't give a care. But moving right along. Oh yeah, them Baptists was something else. Oh man, yes, Lord, they were. Yes, they were. Lord, I could say some stuff right there. But give me a good Baptist woman, Lord have mercy. That's because they used to tell us to go get their beer while they were on the porch and under the tree, and it was hot outside. Yeah, but my mom and them say I used to climb in the refrigerator and open them. That's what they claim. But see, my mom and them also, and this might be why I might be a little bit crazy. My mom and them used to blow cigarette smoke and any other kind of smoke in your face as kids. Yeah. Any other kind of smoke they were blowing. And they thought that shit was hilarious. Oh my God. But see, I grew up in a house where I was the first person in my family to really become a Christian. My mom and them, they wasn't studying about no Jesus in them. And they surely didn't like church folks. And, in order for me to make money, I had to play my mother in spades. I had to literally play cards to earn my, allowance. Me and my sister. And that's how we got so good with playing cards. I didn't let them people know at church that I was playing them cards. You crazy? I didn't tell them people nothing. Not at all. Sean, listen here. We knew everybody's business in the church. Oh, we knew everybody's business in the church. And that's what got me pinned up against the bulletin board at church that time. Because the head deacon in our organization, he was dating a white lady across town. And when we had our church meeting, you know how them church meetings could get really intense. He gonna start talking all that crap to the pastor. And at that time, I think I was either assistant pastor or about to become. And he was talking all that smack, and I knew he was having an affair and sleeping with that white lady across town. And I bust him right out in front of everybody at the church meeting. I didn't feel bad about it. And because I was like, how dare you go, the hypocrisy of it all. And y'all think this thing just begun. No, I've been talking crap for a long, long, long time. And bust him out. And he took me and he pinned my tail up against that bulletin board. I mean, had me up like, And I never told my mother because I was afraid my mother was going to kill that fool if I would have told her. Because my mother would kill a man faster than she would beat up anybody else. Oh, my God. She would kill a man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I never told my to this day, my mother never knows he dead now. So it don't really matter. But I never told my mother. I never told her. Because she'd have probably came down there and cleared out that whole church. My mama would have cleared out that whole church. Listen here. Let me tell you something. You know what I was thinking today? I said the saints is just like everybody else. The saints is really just like everybody else. Truly, we are. You got your liars. You got your thieves. You got your whoremongers. And whoremongers actually starts with the word whore. You got your covetousness people, people who are covetous, they jealous of everything else that everybody else has. The church folks is just like everybody else. The difference is, and this is what I try to tell my family, church people are not, perfect people. They're purposed people. They're people who have a purpose. They've discovered their purpose. Some of them anyway. That's the difference. That's the only difference. And you have an advocate with the Father. The Bible says that you can go to God and repent of your sins. And the Bible says he's going to hear us and forgive us and wash us. That's the difference. Oh, Lord. Somebody say the congregation hasn't met her man. What congregation? Because you know what I'm starting to think, too, about some of these black influencers, church influencers on the internet. They just keep repeating a lot of evangelical talking points. If you listen to Tiffany talk, a lot of that stuff sounds like slavery to me. I know that's going to sound bad, but it does. It just sounds like slavery messages. Nothing is liberating about what Tiffany says. It just sounds like slavery to me. Y'all tell me. Y'all think that Tiffany has a liberating message? It don't sound liberating to me. It sounds like slavery. I'm just saying. Sean says, I grew up in the Baptist church and went to Kojic. They do the same ish, but in different ways. Baptists do it in your face. Well, yeah, that's true. Thank God. And that's the one thing I like about Baptist people. It's no pretense. You know what I'm saying? The pastor gonna fire up his cigarette as soon as he finished preaching. He gonna go out on the side of the church and fire up his cigarette, and he ain't studying. And you heard the word, and you was touched by the Spirit, and you moving on. Just saying, my mom is the only one saved too. I know she's having it rough. I know how rough I had it when I was the only one. Lord have mercy. Oh, have mercy. I need an evangelistic team to go right now to some of my family members' house and lay hands on some of these people. Because I don't know about you guys, but have you ever had family members who are thieves and liars, and then they want to come to you and try to preach to you and tell you something, and you done spent your whole life in prison and in jail, and you going all of a sudden now you handing out advice? Nigga. I am not that dude. You do not want to come to me trying to hand out no advice unless you're trying to keep me from going to prison. and not robbing or being a thief. The only advice you could give me is how not to get caught. You know what I'm saying? Some of these family members will be a whole mess. That's all I'm saying. Whole mess. And I did drop the link, Leah. You guys are welcome to come up. It's pinned at the top, so you guys are most certainly welcome. Y'all are so funny. I'm just saying, come on now. Listen, if you've never been in my live, and you're not a member, you need to go and join the membership, because I told a story to my private members of how I almost got kicked. Well, I almost got kicked out of a strip club, and I told them that story too. Oh man. Oh my God. Oh man. Yes, I did. Because I have a preference. When I was going to the strip club, I needed the stripper to be able to do certain things. And if she couldn't do certain things, you wasn't getting my money. And some of them strippers would get mad because they didn't come equipped for the job. And so yeah. Moving right along. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, Jesse. Some of these church people will test you. Can I tell y'all something? That's one of the reasons why it's so hard for me to stop cussing, because a lot of these church people, especially the ones that come over here in this chat, they love playing in your face. Church people love to play dumb. They play dumb so much until you cuss they ass out. It literally takes you cussing them out in order for them to get a clue. I got a clue of what you was talking about. Oh my God, I think I got it. You had it the whole time. You just coming over here trying to frustrate me. And once I set it straight, then all of a sudden the ninjas get to acting right. It's amazing to me how that happens. Because see, what somebody need to do is they need to look Brian Carn in the face and lay his big lip behind out. That's what they need to do. Lay him out. Lay him right out and dare him to say something. Be like, keep talking and I swear I'll slap you in the face. That's exactly that's what Brian Carn needs. And and Demetrius Senegal can't do it because I know he has some type of health condition. I'm just saying, because he got some type of health condition. That's why he travels around with the dog. On what y'all call him, dog? Service animal. Y'all do know that Demetrius has a service animal. I don't know if he has epilepsy or he has seizures or something. God bless him, and hopefully God will heal him and touch his body. But yeah. While he was walking around and walking his dog, Brian Carn was walking the dog inside of his wife. I'm just saying. Woo, 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 woo. Why must I chase the cat? Brian Carn was laying pipe while he was over there with the service dog. Lord help me. I done stepped into it. See, that's why I tell y'all I hate these type of shows, because you don't know what I might say. Oh Lord. Oh my goodness. He over there with the service dog and his wife over there with the dog. Okay. Because y'all can say whatever you want to say about Brian Carn, but Brian Carn, from what we see thus far, he ain't never met a vagina he didn't like. Now he sure enough like you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about the true player for life? Don't leave your girl around me. Shoot. I'm just saying that Brian Carn is something else. Oh yeah, well, I don't mind people. I mean, just because you marry somebody in church doesn't mean that you're equally yoked. See, when we talk about equally yoked, people just be thinking, oh, that's because both of you know Jesus. Just because we both are Christians don't mean we equally yoked. That don't mean nothing. Not at all. Don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. And that's why I be trying to tell people, you can think whatever you want to think. Let me tell you something. I've been in church my whole life. My family will tell you. They literally, listen, they will literally tell you, I spent all my whole life in church. I did not come out of the institutional church until I was 35 years old. Think about that. I was entrenched in the church until I was a 35-year-old man. Think about that. That alone makes me that's why if I want to go to the beach and I don't want to come to your Sunday damn service, I ain't coming. I'm going to the beach. That's why if I want to go walk on the pier, the Santa Monica Pier, and eat cotton candy and stick my feet in the sand on Wednesday night, that's what I'll do. I won't be at the Wednesday night Bible study. I will be going about my business because I've been there my whole entire life. From the time I was a child until the time I was 35 years old, I done put my time in. Oh, yes, Lord. Anybody remember that old song? Put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Oh, come on, I done put my time in, y'all. You go put your time in. You go put your time in. I done put my time in. I'm just saying, I done put my time in. You better go somewhere and you go put your time in. You go put the amount of years that I was in there. You go duplicate that and then come back and talk to me about coming to sit up in your prayer meeting and your new church that you got with these big screen TVs and all of these smoke machines and all these strobe lights. Oh, okay, you go do that. I'll take what I had versus what you guys are doing right now. I'll take what I had. Y'all go do what you do because I'm not going back. Listen here. Let me tell you something. Lord, it cuts like a knife, Sean. And every time I serve these ninjas up, boy, they get to straightening up real quick. It's interesting. It's kind of like when your mama tell you not to do something and you go and do it anyway. And she come over and they tell, didn't I tell your ass not to touch that? And it's something about the way she say, didn't I tell your ass? It just shifts you. It shifts the whole atmosphere. Then I tell your ass not to touch that, and you looking up like a cow at a new gate. You like, oh God, what just happened here? The whole atmosphere shifts. Please, you better get a clue. You better buy a vial. You better call Pat Sajak. I'm not kidding. You better buy a vial quick. Brian is dumb. Brian is stupid. He goofy. Oh my God, it's a mess. Oh my goodness. Hey T, let me tell you something. But it's the truth. It's the truth. I ain't told no lie. I ain't told no lie. I ain't told no lie. And these are the best shows for me because I could just fly off the cuff and I don't have to be so. But Brian Carr be laying pipe. Let's just tell the truth. Some people say he lays it with men and women. I don't know. That's alleged. That's what people be saying. But one thing we know for sure, some of these husbands done come out and say he was showing up at their house having prayer meetings with their wives. And next thing you know, I'm just saying. What did intro say back in the day? If you let me, I'll teach you. Come inside. Isn't that what the song y'all remember? Come inside from intro. That's how like old school I am. I gotta go back to intro. I do like intro. I still listen to their album. I think intro is probably one of the greatest R&B groups that just the industry sucks. The industry sucks because they put up and push who they want to push when some people have the talent. Because the guy in intro wrote pretty much all of Mary J. Blige's first album, What's the 411. I mean, he wrote all the stuff for it. They cheat those guys. I'm just saying. It's a mess. Hey Gerald, good to see you up in here, Gerald. Good to see you. Listen here. The word on the street is it depends on the day you catch him. But here's the thing, Jesse, a lot of these people are that fluid. But see, the church don't have no answer for that. Oh God, I wish I had time. I am a fully grown man. Let me tell you something. I got a million stories. So you all know I used to work with a company called American Income Life. I was a manager, insurance manager over there, right? So they would always give me the new agents to train and stuff like that. So they give me this guy named Brad. We'll call him Brad. So I'm taking Brad around and we driving around. Now Brad is a MMA fighter. He does MMA. Now he used to chew tobacco, and he would always keep this little cup by him, and he would spit in the cup all day. It's all he doing all day. Used to get on my nerves. Even when we would be in the office, like every now and then, even if he didn't have the cup, he was like little spitting out little pieces of stuff. Used to drive me crazy. When I say drive me crazy, because I'm a really neat and clean sort of dude. And oh my God. So we was in the car one day. And you know, when you with a person every day, you talking about life and talking about stuff. So Brad tells me one day, because I would have to go to pick him up. He had a girlfriend at the time. He used to drive his girlfriend's car. But one day we was in the car. Now this is a MMA fighter. So we in the car and we talking. Now Brad is white, by the way. So we talking, and some kind of way we got on the subject of sex and da. And we got on the subject of transgender people, right? Because for a long time I was really confused about what transgender is or was, right? I was really confused by that. I still every now and then I still kind of don't get it all the way right. So Brad's telling me one time, I kid you guys not, I can't believe I'm gonna say this on the public, but anyway, so Brad and I was talking. So Brad tells me, he says, oh, I've had a sex with a transgender. I swear I almost drove off the road because I was driving that day. I almost swerved. Now this is Brad, the MMA fighter. I said, say what now? He said, oh yeah, I've been with a transgender person before. Now y'all gotta understand, I'm from the church. Like most of these conversations that I'm having with other adults, like I've never really had these kind of conversations with other grown people. So most of our conversation we had with church people, not people in the world. So I'm having this conversation with Brad. And so y'all know me. If you don't know me, I'll start asking you a million questions. I'm going to start asking a ton of questions. So Brad, was the person still male down there? He said, no. He said, oh, he had the surgery. Yes. I said, oh, now y'all know I'm crazy. Well, Brad, what was it like? Because I'm going to start asking a million questions. You know what Brad said to me? He said, well, you could tell it was created, or they had put it together, the stuff. I'm telling you what he said to me. He said it was like a pocket, and like a ballooned pocket or something. I think that's the word he used, like a balloon pocket. When I tell you, I could not wait for him to get out that car. I opened up my driver's side door, put my one leg out, and slid down in the seat. I was laughing so hard. When I tell you I was cracking up, and the reason why I was cracking up, because these are the people, because Brad is like this MMA dude, and he over here with a whole transgender. I said, oh, Lord. And then that's how some things in me started understanding that some people are these people are peopling. That's the best way I can describe it. They're peopling. Some of the people that you wouldn't think would be doing all of this stuff is doing all of this stuff. And I said, oh, okay. And him and I, we had some other conversations, and I was just like, oh. And I'm fascinated when I have these types of conversations with people who, don't come from a church background, because they seem to be a lot more honest and just, have the conversation. Church people, you want to wrap everything up in Jesus. That's how we do. Oh, let's get wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in God. Let's get wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in His word. That's what we do. We just wrap everything up in Jesus. And you can't really have no good conversation with church people, because, it just can't be like a normal conversation. Well, the Lord, and you're just like, oh, Jesus. But these people out here in them real streets, oh, you can have some real conversations with them. That's why I love talking to strippers, to tell you the truth. Oh, I used to have the most fascinating conversations with strippers and people like Mary Magdalene. Oh God, the other Mary. Them hoes is wonderful for conversation. And I don't know, maybe because they have to talk to men for a living. Oh God, let me tell you something. I have the best conversations. I really do. I know that's going to come as a shock to y'all, and we don't even talk about the Bible. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We don't even talk about the Bible. Don't even mention it. Well, that's what some people say. Brian Carnes not gay at all. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Because some of the stuff he do is a little bitches, but it smells a little. I don't know. But that's just me. And I don't like to label people like that because if you know me, I don't like to do that. That's not something I do. But I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh my God. Sean said, I was 36 every day, even during the day we used to be at church. I know, Sean. That's why I don't go no damn more. I'm over it. I done put my time in. I remember one day when Fred Hammond came out there and told them people that he wasn't going to church no more, that that season of his life was over. People almost died. Oh my God, Fred Hammond's not going to church. Y'all probably didn't even know Fred said that at one point, but he did say that. Fred said, oh, that time in my life is done. Don't mean his music's not good. Doesn't mean you're not going to be blessed by it. Listen here, I done put my time in, y'all. I done put my time in. Oh, listen here, Lori. I can't. With strobe lights and smoke machines, the preacher come out and he got smoke going up, billowing up in the car. So, oh God, this ain't for me. No, this ain't for me. I'm done. No, that's why these ladies need to learn how to go to a bar, go to a sports bar, go to the ESPN zone, go to something where we're hanging out. Because that's where we at. We at the ESPN zone. I'm downtown LA live at the ESPN zone. That's where I'm at. I'm at a really nice restaurant. That's where we are. I might even be at a hotel in the hotel bar if it's a real nice hotel on a Friday night. Hence, that might be why some people come on early on a Friday because they want to go do some other stuff. I'm just saying, you never know where people might end up later in the evening. I'm just saying. We might have some other stuff we want to do. And it doesn't mean you're carnal. It doesn't mean that you're worldly. Let me explain something to y'all. I spent my whole life in church. While you sitting over here praying and waiting on the Lord is like, when are these people going to get up and go live some life? When are y'all just going to live some life? I'm not saying you have to drink. I'm not saying you have to chew. I'm not saying you have to do any of those things. But when are you going to live some life? When are you going to talk to some people other than the saints of the Lord? Because let me tell you something. Some of them saints of the Lord that y'all are talking to, they the biggest liars that you ever encountered in all of your life. Okay, moving on, Marcellus. Stop it. Go on, Marcellus. Go on. Let me go. Listen here. Ryan Chandler was one of the funniest human beings on earth. I miss Ryan Chandler. I never, ever would have ever said that before, but I honest to God miss Ryan Chandler. Ryan Chandler was hilarious. He, to me, was funnier than William. He was funnier than Larry. He was funnier than just about all of these other people that are out here in these social media streets. Ryan Chandler was a hoot. You hear me? Ryan Chandler was a hoot. Ryan Chandler was a hoot. Nah, Steven, I still like Intro. Intro was the group. Oh man. You all should go watch the doc. Steven, did you see the documentary on Intro and how they actually came up with the song Come Inside and what they actually did to get that song? I thought that was some interesting stuff. That documentary was something else. I said, oh, that's why that song is like that. Exactly. I try to tell people that all the time, Lex. Just because a man loves the Lord don't mean he won't give you the D and keep it pushing. I be trying to tell people that all the time. They're men. We're men. We're just you what? What are you talking about? People like what they like, what they and the church ain't ready to have a real no, they're not. No, they're not. Because in order to have a real authentic conversation about sexual stuff, you would have to talk about sexual studies and the spectrum and understanding that. And most of these people and preachers, they don't understand they don't have none of the science or data behind this stuff. Well, the Bible say, well, yeah, but those people also thought the earth was flat. Like, we've come a long way. Like, can we have a real conversation to help people sort of move through their life? And then they get mad at you if you don't hate a certain group of people. And it's very easy to figure out who the church hates. And that's another reason why I left. I'm like, oh shit. You sitting up here telling everybody they supposed to, like, they can't do this and you haven't, you cheating on your wife. And you not even helping to bury the saints, but we all supposed to be listening at you. You supposed to be the upstanding shepherd that we're all supposed to be following. Okay, let me go on about my business. Because you know what I did? I looked in the Bible and I said, wait a minute, one of these things is not like the other. The Jesus in the Bible does not match the Jesus in that harlot system that they have. I'm just saying. That's just for me. I'm not saying that's for you. For me and the Mad Church, the harlot church system and the actual Bible do not go together. Moving right along. Thank you, Erica. Erica, I thought you was already a member. Did you just renew? I notice sometimes it doesn't automatically renew some of y'all. But hey, welcome. We appreciate you. Thanks for becoming a member. Well, that's true, Jesse. White men do have different standards. But when he told me that, listen here, sir, I almost slid out of my car. Oh my God. He was like, oh, it's like a pocket. It was like a balloon pocket. I'll never forget that. I was busting up. But this is an MMA fighter. I'm like, you was with a transgender? Yeah, he sure was. And he's not the only one. Because, see, in the black community, these dudes are slipping and dipping. And here's the funny thing about it, Jesse, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. These women, I don't know. I don't get it. Sometimes you so busy concentrating on certain individuals that you let all of these other individuals slip right under the radar, sleep with you and sleep with your brother and your cousin and your uncle and them, but you worried about some other people. You know what I'm saying? Like they got their eyes fixed on certain things. Well, I don't know. I don't like the way. Okay, all right, keep that up. Moving right along. Moving right along. Yeah, a lot of them do. Listen here. A lot of folks are confused. But you know why they're confused is because they're not honest with themselves. Let me tell you something. I promise the Lord that in these next couple of years, because there's gonna be a book coming out of here soon. But in these next couple of years, I promised the Lord that I was gonna have some real tough conversations and upset the cart over here on this channel. We're going to upset some folks. And that's why I need for everybody to be mature enough to handle it. I know some of these people who are over here right now ain't going to be here in a couple of years because I'm probably going to have to delete and block them because they're going to get so upset that their religious stuff gets, shaken a little bit, And I realize it, but that's the cost of, that I have to pay. You know what I'm saying? It is the cost that I have to pay. Now, I don't even know what this is. Now, see, here you go, Jesse. Now, I found out what asexual was because I didn't even know that. Thank you. Let me see your transcripts for that because that was Kim who taught me that. What? Let me look it up. See, Jesse, why are you doing this? What is that, Jesse? Because some of this stuff, I really don't know what this stuff is. Oh, okay. You know what? That might be a good name for that. You know why I think that's a good name for that? Because you just pan the whole room and decide, hey, whatever likes me, I like it. So you just pan the room and be like, oh, I like all of it, everything. That is funny to me, Jesse. That is funny to me. They just pan the room and figure it out. And yes, we can be boring. Forgive us. Yes, we are boring. I know I'm boring. People, I don't know why people have all sorts of notions in their mind and think certain things about you. I know I'm boring. And that's why anybody who's with me is going to certainly have to be a homebodied person because we're going to have to be boring together. I'm serious because I am a boring person. I know I'm boring Because all I do is talk about Jesus. What am I doing right now? It's Friday night at 6:30 in California time, and I'm on this live here talking about the Lord and the saints. I'm boring. My life is somewhat boring. I'm just here to tell you. It is the truth. Lord have mercy. Patsy, who got tired of us? That's funny. I know I did. Church folks jump through hoops to appear perfect, all while having 99.9 secrets. You right about that. You do. But here's the thing. When you get rid of all your secrets, you don't have to worry about being exposed. You ain't got to worry about being exposed because you ain't got no more secrets. So that way you don't have to worry about all of that. I don't worry about secrets. I don't worry about people exposing me. That's why that whole Amazon crap, I didn't worry about that because I done already told y'all. And I can't even really speak about it because I lost. So if you lose, you can't speak about it. I would love to tell y'all some stuff. But y'all can, if y'all listen to me, you can pick up what happened and what my experience was like because I pretty much done told y'all that court system is a whole mess and it's a whole game being played. That's why you have to know what you're doing. That's why P. Diddy better pray for real because he going down. Anyway, go ahead.
And who cares at the end of the day? Like, these people, they need something better to do. Even if I didn't have a job, I wouldn't be on YouTube searching up people cases. I would be outside somewhere doing something. Cause that whole pandemic era is over, and we're not gonna keep going down. We only have associates and friendships with people teleporting.
Right.
It's weird, but I didn't come on here for to throw shade tonight. I just wanted to speak on the pansexual thing. I think you got it though,
Oh, I
because
got it. They just
okay,
pan. They just pan the room. Whatever likes me, it don't really. It
well,
don't matter.
it's the other way around. Actually,
No, it
is
says right here. It says the romantic, emotional, and or sexual attraction to people regardless of their gender.
yeah, but you saying that like whoever likes me, like the pansexual men, usually they're attracted to energy. So if they see something that remind them of their type, whether they're female, male, trans, whatever, that's what pansexual is.
Okay, let me read the rest of this definition. It says, like everyone else, pansexual people may be attracted to some people and not others, but the gender of the person does not matter. People of any gender identity can and do identify as pansexual. That's the definition.
Yep, that's accurate. So it's more, if it gets them aroused, whatever. So that's all.
Well,
I
as a
assume that's
man,
it.
I mean, the wind could blow and it get you aroused. I'm just saying,
hmm
if you get a good wind on a good day, you aroused. I mean, anything can. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's what one of the psychologists, I think Freud had spoke on that, regarding
Yeah.
people's sexuality. A lot of people, well, he said, I believe that 95% of the human population has some sort of attraction to their same um gender. However, most people don't act on it. And it can be just as small as, I like your outfit, bro, and you might not notice, but you get certain sensations. It might
So,
not, even be down there, but
but you
you,
talking, but see, here's the thing. I think it's different now. Now, Jesse, it's different between liking an outfit and liking what's in the outfit. You understand what I'm saying? That's a huge jump. You understand what I'm saying? It can't now for
it,
some people they can, I guess, but I mean,
like I said, some people they tend to act on it versus some people won't act on it, or
got
they
you.
maybe not notice it. That's what it ultimately comes down to: what you act on and what you don't act on.
I
But
got you.
yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah. I listen here, sir. I think the church needs to have those conversations, but they have very unhealthy conversations because they're
Mm-hmm.
steeped in religiosity and they're steeped in I'm right, you're wrong. They don't come to the table of meeting with an open mind to
Mm-hmm.
have a full on discussion to learn and to grow. Most people approach these subjects to win you over to their way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
When I have these conversations, I'm just having a conversation. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. The only thing on this
Right.
channel I'm trying to convince you of is Jesus plus nothing equals everything. That,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And that's not my, the reason why I'm coming on here to,
I got you.
turn nobody out, because I don't believe in that. Who is for me is for me. But I do like, having those conversations so people understand, because like you said, there are a lot of terms out here and it gets confusing. I know a little bit about it. So I try to break things down in layman's terms and make people feel more comfortable about approaching people that are a little bit different than what, normal society is.
Right.
So, that was, I'm not trying to turn nobody out or nothing like that. But this Christian church, it's it drives people away, and then you have everybody getting these honorary doctorates,
Oh Lord.
from Dollar Tree University, Dr. Larry said,
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah, well,
they
that's not gonna fly. But I saw an interview the other day, and I actually watched this interview. I haven't been able to watch Larry's interviews for a long time. I saw him on this very small podcaster. The guy had like 1,000 subscribers, and Larry was being interviewed. Larry was interviewing the guy, and Larry told him, "Oh yeah, all my degrees and something." And I say, it don't matter where he go, he just not gonna tell the truth.
mm-mm.
I say he just not gonna tell the truth no matter where he go. I don't need him to tell the truth, but it was just funny to me to listen to him continue to lie to a whole new group of people who probably don't know him. Whoever goes by that is gonna think, oh yeah, he really has these degrees. Oh Lord.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like everybody knows Larry. Anybody that goes to church or has gone to church and know anything about church, I think we all kind of know him now. So that's why he's over there doing, 1,000 subscriber platforms now. Just trying to go
Right.
anywhere that he can find safety and comfort.
Yeah, exactly. And but that's very telling too, because these same people used to holler about how they don't go on small people's platforms. You had to have a certain amount of subscribers if they showed
Mm-hmm.
up on your platform. And it's amazing to see people going over to people with 1,000 subscribers. But Claudine says, what's the name of the church that I grew up in? I'm a church person and we sound like we have similar backgrounds. My name of my church was Kimberly Park Holiness Church, but that was the second church I went to. But I started off in Beulah Baptist. Well, that ain't really true either, Marcellus. I started off at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, and that was my auntie's church, and that was pastored by Pastor Solomon Drake. He had a whole bunch of stories about him too, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving right along. Well, can
See,
I?
them pastors back in the 70s, I wasn't even born then, but I done heard stories myself.
Oh
And
yeah.
if the internet was out back then, oh, y'all think this little mess Tiffany and everybody, trying to come up and Gigi and them. Child, they ain't
But
got
you know
nothing
what I
on
think?
me.
But you know what too, Jesse? I think that we dealt with the humanity of those people. We were more forgiving than we are today. Because I
Is
think,
it for forgiving, or was it like, I understand the forgiveness aspect, but it felt a little misogynistic
oh,
and a
it
little
was.
bit,
Oh, it was straight
good
massage.
boys, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
good
yeah. It
boys.
was. It absolutely was. Now, and I'm with Lynn. Rest in peace, Ryan Chandler. Lord, he was funny. My favorite Ryan Chandler story. I have to tell it every time I talk about Ryan Chandler. Did y'all ever see the video where he got pulled, where he had a flat tire? And Ryan Chandler was on the side of the road with the state trooper, and the woman was changing his tire because he was talking about he didn't know how to he didn't know how to change a tire. And so the state trooper, she handed Ryan Chandler her hat. And Ryan Chandler was holding her hat while she was doing all the work to change the tire. I swear that was the funniest video I have ever seen in my whole life. Oh,
Mm.
when I tell you that Ryan Chandler was a hoot. He was like, I can't do none of this stuff. It was just funny. It was hilarious. It was really funny. But I totally get what you're saying, Jesse, when it comes to church, especially church. So yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Did y'all hear about the guy that used to be in DC Talk News? Yes, I heard about that story too. Listen here. If you're in the music business, it don't matter whether you're in Christian music or whether you're in secular music. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people think that these gospel artists are living these holy, righteous lives. How many men have
Then,
you? Oh, do y'all know how many men Yolanda Adams done went through?
oh,
I'm just
through
saying.
the storm. While I'm riding through the
And she was
storm.
riding. She was showing enough riding. She was showing enough riding. I don't know why
Mm.
y'all need to start learning how to read some stuff other than the Bible. Read some articles and read some blogs and get some information. I'm just saying. How many people y'all know? Y'all done Leandria stuff showed up with in her belly. She got caught because she had the baby with the drunk,
Yeah,
right?
that Denise Clark syndrome, to be
Right,
exact.
right.
Mm-hmm.
She got caught, but the rest of these folks is doing. Your Vanessa Bell Armstrong and John P. Key was fooling around for years. They weren't married.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
Allegedly,
show.
allegedly.
Didn't they have a song back in the day? Show enough, I know. I'm
No,
gonna
listen
make it.
here. When they was talking about we walk by faith, and she was over there doing all them riffs and runs, that
Oh,
wasn't the only thing they was running through.
oh.
I'm just
Wait a
saying.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You ain't gonna do that. Not
I'm
no.
just
Oh,
saying.
because that Stan album is one of my favorite albums
I'm just
of
saying. Well,
all time.
she wasn't there with Stan. She was gone on Stan, and she might have did a guest appearance on Stan. But when they did that, we walk by faith, and Isaac Career was singing "Wave It Away." I'm not worried about tomorrow. Come on, what the saints at? No, the trials it may bring, for by faith
Mm,
I am the victor. I can conquer anything. Y'all remember the old song? Come on, y'all.
mm,
Okay.
mm, mm,
After John P. Key got done with her, he waved her right on the way.
mm.
He waved her right on the way. Let me continue. Praise his name. Listen, y'all ain't gonna hear these kind of conversations, but nowhere but Mad Church Disease. I'm just saying, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Just because you singing gospel music. And the white folks do it too. Don't think that it's over here, just over here in the black side of things. The white people do it too. Oh my God, they have scandals after scandals, and they go right on the GMA, what is that, GCM, whatever that thing is, the white people gospel, the Dove Awards. They go right
Hmm.
over there and they keep right on singing.
I mean, when you are into music and stuff, even like it don't even gotta be music, but you in the entertainment. And I told my barber this because he's starting to go on Tubi and stuff, so he's starting to, that's the big thing around here in Detroit. So he
And the
told
white man owns Tubi. I can't understand why everybody's so.
They said Fox owns Tubi.
Yes, the white man. What's his name? Somebody put it in the chat for me. He own the white man. He's half dead anyway. He ain't gonna be around too much longer.
Mm,
What's
mm,
this? What's
mm,
his
mm,
name? Rupert Murdoch.
mm.
The white man. He owns it. The one that used to own WB. Where he put all the black shows on first, and then once he builds up the network, he snatches all the black people off, and then he put all the white people on the
Yeah,
network. We build it up the network. That's the same thing he doing with y'all with Tubi. That's why he got all y'all over there with Tubi.
and it's
He
a
has
cash cow.
92% share of the watching right now. Is on Tubi, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of the content is honestly, to me, better if you can find some good stuff. But some of the content is better than what they're doing in Hollywood because they have like real Black American stories, not people from the Caribbean. And it's no shade to them, but they have different experiences than we do. And a lot of times they be whitewashing Black stories, but that's none of my business. So
Right.
it's good. But no, I was telling my barber, like, he's becoming a little rising star. Well, not little rising star, but he was becoming a rising star here in Detroit or whatever. And he's starting to hang out with, some of the actors. And I was like, bro, I've been in performing arts all my life pretty much. I don't really hang out with other singers. I don't hang out with, people that act a lot because they're weird.
Right.
All of them, they're just weird. It is what it is.
Right. Well,
Then,
most of those actors and people like that, Jesse, they're narcissists. In order for you,
mm-hmm.
But in order for you to, and I had to learn this because a lot of my friends are actors and actresses and singers and stuff. They're really narcissists, and you have to learn how to deal with a narcissistic person who's has a narcissistic personality, and it can be challenging at times. Sometimes you'll want to cry.
I mean, and it's everywhere. It's even in the, corporate sector, wherever you go. Narcissists always make it to the top because they know how to play up. They're good with words. They're tricksters. So you just gotta be knowing who you dealing with. But it ain't just
Right.
the people that sing, the black church singers. It ain't just the white church singers. It ain't just Diddy and them. It's everywhere. People do more cocaine in corporate than you would ever
Oh, absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. And a lot of women now are starting to have heart attacks and stuff in corporate America. They're clutching their breasts like we used to clutch our chests and fold over at their desk, having heart
Hmm.
attacks and strokes and dying faster. Now, talk
Hmm.
to me. If Jackie still has desires, what human being on the earth don't have some type of desire? Period. You got a desire for your husband, I'm sure. We all gonna have them desires, and what y'all define as lust and all this stuff. Let me tell you something. A long time ago, I made a decision as a man that you weren't gonna make me feel guilty about if I see some big titties or I see a fat ass. It's not gonna make me lose my salvation because I looked at them titties or I saw your fat ass. It ain't gonna make if your salvation can seep out of your soul because you saw a set of titties and some ass, then are we really saved anyway?
I
Because
rather I
you're gonna have
rather hear
desire.
you. I rather hear you say that than hold some bulls in.
But I'm saying, but I'm that's real talk. Like this as a man, I'm because when I was growing up in church, if you even look on a woman, because that's what the scripture says. So hold on, I know what the text says. If you look at a woman to lust after her, you've committed it in your heart already. And then you got the saints to say, well, it says I done already committed it in my heart. I may as well go on and do it. So they just run out and go do it because they said, well, shoot, you said I'm gonna pay the price for it anyway. And that's kind of how some of these silly folk think. But I said, oh no, y'all not gonna make me feel guilty about looking at a woman that
Mm-mm.
no, I refuse for you to put me in that kind of guilt trap, and it's not happening. Not happening
Because,
whatsoever.
and I've said that a million times. I feel like that sets up a lot of perversion. When you repress your sexual, that's just a part of the human anatomy. You know, you have sexual desires to things that you're attracted to.
Right.
When you keep suppressing that, that's why we keep seeing all these assaulters.
Right. Oh, well, speaking of assault, I found this out years ago because of Kimberly Chandler. Let me see your transcripts. That's the second time I'd have mentioned her name on your show.
Mm,
Kim said something. She said the transgender community is like a lot of murders are taking place in the transgender, but a lot of people don't talk about it.
yeah.
Right. Now, one
Hmm.
thing, Dawson Speaks over there on Dawson Speaks channel. If you watch Dawson Speaks, shout out to Dawson Speaks. Good friend of the show. Love Dawson Speaks. Dawson Speaks will do stories over there and highlight some of these church men that are going over here and sleeping with these transgenders and then killing them
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. And in the black community, we just it's amazing to me how some things just go under the radar and what we really concentrate on,
Yeah.
because all murders should be highlighted and concentrated on and tried to stop them. You
And,
don't want people to be murdered. That's somebody's child.
yeah. And black, oh, I don't want to piss nobody off tonight. But whenever it happens, black people will be quick to say, well, he must have, and they're referring to the woman, he must have tricked the man, she must have tricked the man, blah, 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 blah. But these men know, the testosterone in somebody's voice. You can't get rid of that. You can try to hide it up. These men, they want transgender women. They want them.
Well, let me tell you something. Well, through my club experiences, I told y'all I didn't have my first alcoholic drink until I was 25. What I learned about these here clubs, though, that lighting do not be too good. And if you drunk and you ain't paying the whole attention to everything, I have seen some stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh, you don't know." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's
Well,
too dark in here.
Marcellus, that was you had your first drink 20 years ago.
I was well, yeah, that was a long time ago.
So, but the
It's
lighting has changed
oh, I'm sure
now.
it has.
They got LEDs to be exact.
Jesse say the lighting doesn't change. Listen here, Jesse. I listen. Well, let's have a real conversation. And see, this is what I try to tell people all the time. The way stuff is changing nowadays and how things are changing, I have seen grown people get tricked, literally get tricked. And you think you talking to one thing and it's something totally different. And you just be like, uh, wow. Like technology is amazing. Let's just put it that way.
Well,
Some of these people didn't go to Mako to get their makeover. Some of these people went to a good surgeon, and you're just like, you can't believe it.
now Marcellus, you um well, St. James saw my old pictures when I had dreadlocks for 8 years and I cut them off a year and a half ago. And they were blonde and real little. Now I had no intention on ever trying to come off uh transgender or anything like that, queer, whatever you want to call it. I never had no attention, but when I had them dreadlocks, a lot of men that were on the down low would be on my head. And I always kept a full beard. I never
And you
cut my
think it was the
beard.
dreadlocks?
It was definitely the dreadlocks. Like it was several of them, that would be like, I can you please cut off your facial hair? They wanted the illusion of a woman. And I was like,
Oh,
I'm not cutting my facial hair
oh,
off
I
to
got you.
be your fantasy. I'm doing what I want to do. So
Well,
but they would really be on my head. Like I would just be anywhere, Little Caesars Pizza one day, looking a mess. And some guy, hey, you this, that, and the third, they walk up to you and they be like, hey, you smoke, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't know what you got going on. I'm
mm.
naive, I'm dumb, I ain't thinking nothing of it. And then somebody was like, oh, that person was hitting on you. So it was the dreadlocks, because they was real long and then, so these men, they know what be going on.
Listen here.
They
Listen
don't be
here.
getting tricked.
Now I'm gonna be well. I think you're correct too, because my best friend in the whole wide world, she had a friend who had a son who turned himself into a whole woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he used to work at the mall at one of these big malls here in California. And sometimes we would have to go to pick him up from work. And let me tell you the stories that he would tell us about these men coming into the store and harassing him into the store, like trying to talk to him or whatever, whatever. I just found it to be because I'm a church kid. I don't know. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
stupid like that. I just be like, what? Tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a church kid too. That's why I politely
I be
deny
like,
old dude.
I'd be like, tell me more. Because I'd be wanting to hear these stories. And he just talks to us about a lot of stuff. Now, if I'm gonna be totally frank with you, we were going out one day and he showed up in an outfit that I refused to go out with them in the outfit he was wearing. Not because he was, transgender or turning, himself whatever. It was just I wouldn't go out with anybody who was dressed like that. So and I think he got offended, but I think now he's kind of grown a little bit more to where he understands he don't have to push that because
Mm-hmm.
we know him, we love him regardless of whatever the situation. And his mom passed away, so when we see him or encounter him, we just love on people because that's really
Mm-hmm.
what Christians are supposed to
Yes,
do.
yes,
So
yes.
we just love on him. But I refused to go to dinner with him. I was like, dude, I am not going nowhere with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's certain people I won't really have conversations, especially me being over 30 now. It's like it's certain people I'm like, I can't be seen out in public with you.
Yeah.
You cool or whatever, but it's like you gonna have to learn how to dress because we trying to go to J. Alexander's or trying to go somewhere nice, and that's those are the only clothes you got. You put on something nice sometimes. You
Oh
know.
Lord, Daryl says that Detroit is turning into the ghetto Hollywood on Tubi.
It is. It
Really?
is. It is. We just like Motown, we're building up our own thing.
On Tubi.
On Tubi, it's a lot of like everywhere you go, somebody's I'm a Tubi actor, blah blah blah. Yeah, I got several friends and that's been in movies and shows here, and it's lucrative. They make
Oh
good
wow.
money.
Well, that's what Daryl said. Daryl Moore told me about that. Leah, I don't understand what you mean. The link has been pinned. You're more than welcome to come up and explain yourself. Come to explain. Explain what you talking about. You talking
Leah
about you
famous.
what are you talking about? I don't desire no more. I'm fasting. What does that even mean?
Leah famous.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. And yeah, I told y'all to go over, make sure y'all watch Regina's program that she did today. So y'all go over there and support Regina and the Juice Talk Radio Show. She did a show where she was talking about, are people loyal anymore, and talking about loyalty, which I thought was really, really a good program. I dipped in there before I came live with you guys tonight, and I told her I just dropped in to answer the question. The answer is no, people are not loyal anymore. And so you need to guard your heart and your mind through Christ Jesus. Moving right along. But yeah, but I've seen a lot of stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I don't mind having these kind of conversations. Plus, my grandmother and I, the woman that I knew as my grandmother, we had great conversations. Even when I was a child, her and my auntie used to talk to me. Y'all would be so surprised. I was a kid talking to grown-ups, like real talking to grown-ups. And it was something. And my grandmother used to sit on the porch and we would talk, and my grandmother would say all kinds of stuff to me. And that's one of the reasons why I think I'm a lot more patient in some areas. And I sit back and I watch, and I watch how people do. And that's another reason why I'm not scared to talk to anybody or have conversations with anybody. I don't care who you are, whether you're gay, straight, bi, tri, now pansexual, I guess. But see, there's you don't know what people are. I just have conversations with people. I love people. How can you be a pastor and a leader? And see, this is the other thing that gets me, not to go here. But if you've been called to people, I read the scripture. Jesus said, the word of God says, I will give them shepherds after my own heart. Meaning, God, you have to have a heart for people. And I think some of the experiences that I had, you all, God had to take me through those experiences just to get the right kind of heart towards people, because I had a lofty mindset. I thought I was so much better than everybody else because I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, and on my way to heaven with a mighty burning fire. So you couldn't tell me nothing. And my family will tell you I was arrogant. I can say this. Y'all can't say it because some of y'all won't admit to it. I was arrogant. I was high-minded. I was like, oh man, I treated people horribly. But God had to take me through a process. Them Long Island iced teas just bought me mighty low. Go ahead, Leo. Sorry.
You are hilarious. Long Island iced teas will do it every time, honey.
Vicky Winans.
You ain't never lived till you in the bathroom holding on to the sides of the wall, praying and asking God to help you because you done drank too much Hennessy and the room is spinning.
Oh Lord.
And you sitting up trying to, you asking God to forgive you. I'm in the bathroom praying. God is my solemn witness, holding on to the side of the walls like
you got to let go of that brown liquor. How you got
I done messed up, Jesus.
Have you acting like you got to put that brown liquor down.
Oh man. It's so funny, but it's true, you all. I used to have to stop and sleep on my cousin's couch because I couldn't even drive home. Sometimes I would be so drunk. Auntie Mimi, if she ever hears this, I call her Auntie Mimi, but she's my cousin. But I used to stop by her house and sleep on her couch, coming from the club. Me, the church guy. I'm just saying. But
everybody
I'm not
got their
ashamed of those
vices. Ain't nobody worried about that.
But that wasn't really a vice for me. I was just having fun because honestly, drinking is not my thing like that. Every now and then I'll have a glass of wine. I know people think that, they probably think I drink too much, but I really don't. Let me tell you something. I'm not ashamed of anything. You can't shame me. I'll
Well,
tell.
I'm glad you experienced that when you were 25, and at that age, so you're not coming on here when you approaching 50, trying
Mm-hmm.
to, because that, I hate seeing people in their 50s. Y'all done been so judgmental all your life. Now all of a sudden, because I'm always gonna bring it back to Larry. He had that old sorry pathetic party he had over there. Everybody, William walking around with the camera spreading all the tea, and that party looked it boring, because y'all don't them fake Christians don't know how to have no real party.
No, 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 no. Well, I mean, you got to have some real good stuff going on at a party. But go ahead, Leah. I didn't want to stop you. Come on and
No,
explain
you
yourself.
fine. Wait a minute. First of all, hallelujah, I'm saved. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I feel it in my shadow. I'm saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost
I
filled.
heard that.
I ain't going after nothing that ain't righteous, and I'm not going after nothing that ain't green. That's
I
it.
heard that.
I'm fasting
I heard
Leah
that.
famous.
I'm not famous. Stop saying that, Jesse. I was just a
I
regular
caught you over there
girl
singing.
working in these streets.
I saw one of those videos of you over there singing. What song was that? Was that a Patti LaBelle song you were singing?
No, I was singing
I done forgot
on
now.
Chris's. It might have been. I don't know. I gotta go look.
No, I just saw a video of you. You was in some place. It was just recent.
I know it might have been Angie
It
Stone
might have been Angie Stone. It might have been.
and
It was.
something
You did a
else.
great job. You did a great
Thank
job.
you.
I didn't leave no comment because I'm like, I don't want. I don't want to cause no problem because when Churches he step into the room,
No,
everything.
go comment.
Hey,
Go
but
comment.
I was like, oh man, you did a great job. I was like, okay. Well, see,
Oh
that's the
baby,
thing.
I'm controversial. You go ahead and leave a comment. I'm saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled, but I work in the world. I work in the real world. And Jesse talking about he got to stop. I just got a placement. I got it today, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Yeah, with Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz song
Oh,
called
good
Cotton
for you.
Candy.
Are you
Yeah.
going on
So-
tour with Lil Wayne?
No, I work in the background.
Oh,
I'm
you
not
work in the
that type
back.
of singer. Yeah.
So is that studio work?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just listen to me very carefully.
You know,
If they try to give you anything, a purple drink, don't drink it.
Oh,
That's the
now
purple.
you
I don't
know
want you
I
to
know
drink none
better
of the
than
purple
that.
drink. And listen to me. If they give you any cookies in the shape of anybody's face, don't eat them.
Of anybody's face is crazy.
Don't eat
Jesse,
the
what the hell he talking?
don't eat the cookies.
it's giving a Diddy party, and then I also want to
Don't eat the
say,
cookies. Don't eat the cookies.
I also want to say, we have real talented singers, professional singers over here, making real checks, and not AI albums, cassette tapes.
It's actually really, really difficult to make money in the music industry, and I've done this on my podcast in the past. I'm not a podcaster anymore, but I used to educate people. It's really difficult. You have to get a minimum of 1,000 spins per day for 30 days straight. Well, 90 days consecutively straight in order to get roughly $400 to $900 in a
On a
90
new
day
record?
span on any single.
Oh my god. Well,
So
that's
it's
what Snoop
that's
Dogg said.
hard.
Snoop Dogg did
Yeah.
say that.
It's really hard. So no, I'm not. That's why I work a regular job. That's why I work at the church on Sundays. That's why I stay in the streets hustling. I have 3 different ways,
Wow.
streams of income because
Well,
I love to sing, but it doesn't pay the bills.
no,
Wow.
no, no, not pay the bills, but you still a professional, singer, a
Yes, yes,
real sing.
I have platinum. I should order my plaque, Jesse, but I haven't.
No,
I'm
no, you
I'm
don't. You
not.
don't have to start stunting on people. I
Mm-mm.
believe in stunting on. Everybody else go around here. I'm Stellar nominated. So order your plaque.
Well, some of these gospel artists might want to start selling a little something, something on the side now.
Oh Lord.
These tours getting canceled.
I'm just saying the custom pastor said some of these folks ain't worth about $40. So he said whatever the market rate right now is about $40 if you
That's so low. I could not imagine selling any part of me
That's
for
what he said.
$40.
Me and Daryl was hollering laughing one day when we heard that. I mean, when I tell you, me and Daryl was in tears. The cousin pastor, he told them people, he said, "Oh no," he was like, "Oh," he told that woman, he said, "Oh no, it's about worth $40." I swear, me and Daryl was laughing so hard we couldn't stop laughing. But y'all grown, y'all understand what I'm talking about, so
Of
y'all hush
course.
on.
And the rest
But
of them need to raise their prices up. You need to get up at least, I mean, at least do an hourly, 200 an hour. What you doing for $40? That's not even enough to get you no real good drink.
yeah, exactly. Well, Kay Michelle, you need to go on and get you a Kay Giselle. I'm sorry. Go on and get you a membership because we're gonna be discussing this book coming up here. I think it's on the 18th, the 16th, or the 18th. Trust me. And look, if you think that book is an eye opener, I got two more for you that we're gonna be doing before the end of the year. So if you're not a reader, I know some of you not a reader, and we're not gonna read through the book page by page. We're just gonna kind of skim through it chapter by chapter. But I'm gonna be highlighting some points, not to cut you off, Leah. But y'all need to pick up the
You
book,
fine.
you guys. Pick up the book because I promise you it's gonna bless you. And our little study that we're gonna do is gonna be great. But listen. Leah, you've been on the road with these
Hmm.
singers and people. Have you seen any? Now, don't get no names. Now we're gonna go gospel first, and then we'll go secular. Have you seen the sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of life with these gospel singers at all? Anything?
Well, okay, yes and no.
Okay,
So I'm very tight about my sessions.
okay.
So I don't do open sessions, and if I do, it's because I didn't pay for the studio time.
Mm,
So that's number one. So when you are in situations like that, yes, you see it's a lot of females. It's a lot of people, just a lot of people who have nothing to do with the process of what's going on. And it's a lot of music playing in the background, a lot of hunching going on.
mm,
Got to be careful where you walk or what rooms you go into.
mm,
Yeah, definitely seeing people snort lines, the whole bit.
mm.
I mean, that's kind of the culture because most of the time when you're dealing with people with that kind of money, your studio sessions are late. Daytime sessions are typically not that way, but if they
Right.
bring you in for a 6 to 8 hour slot at starting at like 7, 8 o'clock at night, you already know what it's about to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've gone to the studio with an artist. One of my friends is an artist too. She's actually been on wax. I guess I can put it that way. I keep sounding old. Jesse makes me sick because now he done talked about the lighting, and now this gonna stick in my head all night. Now everything I say, I'm sound to myself. I'm gonna sound old for the rest of the night. But she is on the wax, and so she's an
We
awesome.
still say wax,
Oh, okay.
Marcellus.
I'm just saying because you making me feel real old because the lighting doesn't change.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
But anyway, Leah, come on back, Leah, when you're ready. But listen here, she's a great artist, great artist, and I think Leah, what Leah is sharing right now is really true because when you go into them late nights sessions, them people be doing all kind of stuff. They get naked, they be in the studio with no clothes on. I'm just saying. You'd be like, is this Tony? What? I thought Tony was the only people that did this. Like,
Listen, or is it tone? No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. Let me stop.
I'm just like, wait a minute. What kind of session is this? And then you sitting over and let me tell you something. If you don't listen, I can't really stand the smell of marijuana.
Oh Lord, how you live in California then?
Listen, it's everywhere. That's another reason why I stay in the house a lot. But number two, if you go into some of these studio sessions with some of these secular people, you can't breathe. You
Mm-mm.
cannot breathe. You have to literally go outside to breathe.
Christians too.
Well, I've never had that to happen with the Christian folk, but they probably do. I'm
The
sure they
well, the
probably do.
the producers definitely be over. It's a
Yeah, I'm pretty
studio
sure they
here.
probably do.
It was a studio. It's a studio here. That a lot of people be working at. And that the weed was like engulfed.
Oh yeah, I can't do it. Oh,
Like,
did I tell y'all the story about the first time I went to a weed spot? Let me tell y'all. I
oh
tell you, I got
God.
it. Wait a minute. I was driving. Was I driving Uber or Lyft at the time? Let me tell you what had happened. What had happened was, so this guy got off the plane and he didn't have he had his paper ID. He didn't have his physical card ID. and I picked him up from the airport, and he was going to downtown LA. Now, for those of you that are in Los Angeles, y'all can look this up even to this day. There is a place in downtown LA called Wonderland. It's a marijuana spot. They give you the marijuana that lets you know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Marijuana in this green bag, and on the green bag it says Wonderland on it, right? So he was on the phone with somebody, right? So he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm trying." Lee, is that you? Because your stuff went away.
Yeah, I had to go to my computer. My phone was tripping.
Okay. So the man he begged me. He said, can you go inside and get my marijuana? The saint of the Lord. Yes, I did. Because he said, I'll give you a tip, blah, 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 blah. He said, I lost my ID and I already ordered it and they got it waiting for me, blah, 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 but I left my ID. So I said, oh, Lord, do I really want to go in here for this young man? He was a younger guy. I said, okay, I don't smoke marijuana. And I know some people use it for health reasons and all that kind of stuff. So I said, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go in there and get it. Here's the story. First of all, I had to go through metal detectors. Right?
Oh, what?
I had to go through these metal detectors. Yes, it was something else. That's why this story is amazing. So this is how I found out a lot of stuff. This is how you learn stuff, Saints, when you get out of your comfort zone, right? So I went through the first metal detector. You had to empty your pockets. Once you go through the first metal, there's another metal detector, but you have to give them your ID, your keys, all your stuff. You put it in this bowl, right? And then once you put your stuff in the bowl, then you go inside the actual marijuana facility. I said, oh, this is interesting. So I'm just living these experiences. I love it. So you get to ride on my coattail tonight. So I go inside. Do you all know that? And this is how I found out that marijuana comes in different flavors. They got gelato and ice cream flavors and flavors on top of flavors and flavors. I said, oh my God. So the man, I guess he had ordered like some ice cream flavored stuff, right? And I said, oh wow. So I'm confused because when you go to a regular store, you just go up to the counter, give them your money, and you get your product, they put it into the bag, and you leave the store, right? Not at the marijuana dispensary. That's not how.
Oh my God, this is hilarious.
I'll tell you, I got a million stories. So wait a minute. There's a door, there's a little window with a little round hole, and you can't really see through it. You tell the man what you want at the one counter. He gives you a slip. You take the slip to the other counter and you give the person your money, and then they give you back another slip, and then you take it back to the man at the counter, and then he gives you the product. I said, oh man, this is a real drug transaction. I said, I am really committed to crime.
God, Jesus.
I said, this is a whole mess. So wait a minute, y'all. So I'm getting ready to leave the place because now I'm really ready. I'm scurrying on out of here. So you know me, I'm inquisitive. So I start asking questions. Who is the person behind the window?
Oh my God.
Why couldn't I get my stuff when I was at the counter? Because it's like all of these extra steps.
Order my steps.
Are you serious? This is how you took your first time at a dispensary?
Yes.
You are hurting my soul right now.
Oh, this is
crazy.
It was So wait a minute. I go. Can y'all explain to me why I had to go back to this little window? And this is how I learned some stuff. I guess the dispensaries, the money isn't FDIC insured, so they have a lot of security and protection to make sure that they don't get robbed. Because I can tell, I must have the anointing on me, because then people start explaining stuff to me that they probably shouldn't have told me.
Oh my God!
Because yes, see, it's the truth. So the ladies, they like, oh yes, because we have to do that for our protection, and our money's not FDI insured, we can't put it in the bank, and so a lot of times, blah blah blah, there's too much cash on hand, blah blah blah. I said, well, that explains it. And how about I hightailed it out of there and went into my car, gave that man his little Wonderland bag, and that was my first experience at the marijuana.
Okay, so let's clear up a couple of things.
A lot of things, actually.
Yeah, so flowers do not come in actual flavors. They don't taste like flavors. They're named after flavors. So you got cookies, grapes.
But they told me they spray stuff on there to
taste. They do, but it's not even close.
Can't do that. It really, the names are the flavor names is what it makes you feel like when you get that
Exactly.
certain sensation.
It's
When
the
You
you
feel
get
like
high
psychology
on
ice
that,
behind
cream
it.
cone?
yeah, you feel like you just had a bunch of ice cream. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
okay. Well,
and it
see, I'm
depends on
learning
if it's
something
a
today again. Okay.
sativa or indica, i.e.,
Yeah.
people talk about like grapes and things like that and hybrids. You have different blueberry kush, things like that. That's going to give you a very even high. But now the flavors are in the food section of the marijuana, and that's where it can get tricky. Because see, you could smoke your tree and control your high, but that food, honey, once it's in you, God bless your soul.
No,
Hallelujah.
I'm not probably I'm like the only person I know that when I take edibles, I get less high than I do smoking.
Are you
That's
serious?
yeah,
Wow.
I am like one of the only
You're
people that
literally the only person.
like I don't know, maybe because I can control it, but it's like I can only hit 2 puffs of a pre-roll and it's over.
Mm. Well, I know people who have taken.
Interesting.
I know people who have eaten edibles and stayed on the couch for 5 hours and didn't get
Now,
up.
listen, I watched my own self take a shower one day. I've never ever in my life.
You have to read and control it. I had some lemonade. That's when I first started doing the edibles. But I had took some Kool-Aid actually, and I drank the whole bottle. And I was seeing spaceships on bank. I was about to call the ambulance on my own self.
Oh my God. But that's one thing I have never ever like no marijuana. Like I've never had any desire for like, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I know you guys get the munchies and get high and all that kind of stuff. But I just never, it never was something. Maybe because I've seen too many of my family members smoke that I just never wanted to smoke. Because so another thing about people who smoke, y'all move in slow motion, but y'all think y'all be moving in regular time. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Like people who
Baby,
smoke.
it's a whole movie production. Let me tell you, baby, I am in a Marvel movie right now, and I'm a whole character, okay? And I'm the main character at that. So you can't tell
Listen.
me that I'm not moving as fast as I'm moving. Don't even come over here messing with my high. Now, let me just clear up something. That was in my past, in my 20s. A young lady was
Hallelujah.
playing around and dibbling and dabbling,
Right.
and I found out that them edibles, they sneak up on you, girl. So I know now in my later years that if the Lord was ever to take me back to that day where I needed to use that said product for, say, an illness or something, I know how to handle myself. Praise the
Hmm.
Lord. But I don't
And
practice recreation right
And,
now.
me either. And St. James, you should not have been out anywhere. You do edibles at the house
Oh,
only.
baby, yeah, you test that thing out at home, honey. That'll mess your life up.
Daryl, you might need to mute yourself because I'm getting a little feedback from you at the moment. Uh, can you mute yourself, or you want me to mute you?
No, I'm good. I cut the
Okay,
keys
cut it
off.
down. Good. Okay, go ahead, Leah. I'm sorry, I was listening.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, the edibles to have you climbing trees and running and screaming on the top of mountains and conquering things that you never thought that you could conquer.
Oh my
They're
God.
wonderful that
Well,
way.
maybe I should get me some edibles because I think I might. There's a couple of things I
Hell
want to.
no, not you.
I
Oh,
love.
good God
Oh,
Almighty.
boy, hell no. Your ass be out there in the ocean swimming and shit with a damn
You hear
stingray.
me?
Oh, square ass.
Mm,
There's some
You,
things this year I'd like to conquer, and
hell
so I
no.
I need to get me some edibles because it's
Hell
like
no. Hell no.
that is funny.
you take half of a bite. That's it.
Yeah, you can't have all them milligrams in your body. You can barely drink wine from Spain. You talking about an edible? You walk around,
I am weak.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
walking
Lord.
around. You be walking around butt ass naked. They be to put your ass in jail. Hell no, leave that shit
No,
alone.
but I mean, but I'm telling you guys, these are true stories. This stuff has happened to me, and it is hilarious. Like even if you're doing any sort of gig work, I don't know if you guys have ever done any of that stuff, but let me tell you something. I've had people ask me for cocaine. I've had people offer me cocaine. I'm just like, this world out here is a real mess.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, wow, you have to fight your way through a lot of stuff. And because some people out there is something else. And I just love people. Like I really do love people, even when I should hate people. And this is one of the reasons why when I get into the presence of God, the only question I want to know is how did you fix the men and the true men and women of God that way? Because real men and women of God love people. Because you can't be a pastor, you cannot be a leader and not love people. And I really mean that. You have to love people, like really love people. Even when you want to hate them, you can't hate them. It's I would love to hate some people on this here internet. I
Well,
can't
I
even do it.
do.
I
I
know
I
do.
you
I
do
do it
do.
too.
for
I ain't
you.
gonna hold you.
I know you do. It's
I'll do it
crazy.
for you. Shit.
It's crazy. But that's
So
my
I have
that's
a quick story, Marcellus. Can I
yes,
tell it?
ma'am. Go right
It's
ahead.
very quick. So I was attending a church some years back, and the pastor said out of his own lips, he said, "I know these people in this neighborhood because the young people that I was working with wanted to go out and evangelize and witness."
Hmm.
And he forbid it. He said, "Absolutely not. I'm not opening the church during the week for you guys to do that. I'm here every day, and don't nobody walk up to me and say anything to me. They know that this church exists. That's not what we're here for."
Oh wow.
I put my resignation letter in within a couple of weeks after that because that broke my heart. I physically cried for days. I think St.
Wow.
James might even know about this story. He definitely knows the pastor, but I think I told him about this story. I did talk about it vividly a couple years back, but that broke my heart to know that the men
Wow.
and women of God in this day and time do not really believe in evangelizing, going in the hedges and the highways and byways, and really compelling people to come. So our
Mhm.
churches are failing not because of all of the hoopla that we like to, harp
Right.
on the most.
Right.
Everybody loves to talk about homosexuality, but nobody's talking about the fact that the church is not present in the world.
Well, and that's really true because when I was growing up, well, let me tell you, somebody asked me in the chat what denomination I came from. I was actually in the Holiness Church, and we were only
Oh,
allowed to really fellowship with Kojic people. So that lets you know how really confused we were.
oh,
Um, so, but I was raised in holiness. We couldn't do nothing. I only want to go down that list. If you name it, we couldn't do it. And I just heard some influencers today. Oh yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this
Oh God.
while defending Tiffany Montgomery
Oh
today.
God.
oh
I
Lord.
heard some of these influencers, some of these churchy influencers on the internet say, we can't drink, we can't have no wine, we can't go to the movies. The movies is the devils is at the movie theater. They went down this whole list, and I kept saying, at this age, you really believe that going into a movie theater is going to get you infused with demonic activity? But
That's that cult mentality.
but my thing is this too. Were you really saved anyway? If you could be, if the devil could get to you like that, that's the
Yeah.
stuff I be thinking about. Like, how saved are you if you go to a movie theater and you watch a movie and the devil can just seep into your psyche or your ears like that, and no, you ain't saved no more.
And speaking of movies, y'all saw Sinners.
Yes, I
Not yet.
did.
Daryl did. I didn't get to see it
I
yet.
want to go back and see it again.
I've seen
But
it twice. I've seen it twice. Yes.
very good movie. Now it did speak on, it did have some, little witchy poo in there,
Right. But there's
Um,
witchy poo in the church and there's witchy poo on this here internet.
it
But y'all
surely
just
is.
don't know it's witchy poo, because that's another thing that Jesse, I wanted to make. Do y'all not know that a lot of what we've been seeing over the last couple of days ain't nothing but witchcraft? But anyway, go ahead, Jesse. I'm sorry.
Listen, we can go into that all night, and talk about Charles Mason right now. But listen, so the movie, um, at the end of the day, it had a very good storyline that I feel like all Black people need to see. But especially when it talks about letting other races into our culture so freely. The story was just so beautiful. Now, there's this lady that I'm an acquaintance with. She's way older than me. She's actually 70.
Mm,
And she's Baptist, whatever.
All right.
And so uh she said she didn't want to go to the movie to go
mm,
see that. Now she just went and had saw some little corny movie the week before. We had all went to, for her birthday or whatever. But I
right.
was like, well, that had just as much sin in that. And then I was like, I didn't get a chance to talk to her about it, but I was like, the main character sung with Kurt Carr for years since he was a little boy. That's
Oh yeah.
Timony. That's Timony Figueroa's son.
Oh yeah, that's right. What's his name again? What's his name?
Miles
Miles.
Caton. Yeah,
Miles. That's
Miles
right. Because
Caton.
he's on Kirk Carr's new album. He sure is.
Yeah,
He's on
he's
the new
been on a
album.
couple of them. So
Mhm.
yeah, and it's like this. I mean, she sung with Hezekiah Walker and all these other people. So it's like, I don't think she would allowed her son, even though he's a grown man now. But I don't think she would have celebrated her son that way. She's proud of him, but if she thought that he was going to be in something that would have led Christians astray. But y'all demonize, and y'all tend to demonize things that are black first. Y'all don't want to go into that conversation. Other black people will
But
demonize other
Jesse,
black people.
but Jesse, that's
Mm,
another reason why I said a lot of what Tiffany Montgomery and a lot of these black
you
evangelical
did.
Christians on the internet,
You
it
did.
sounds like it sounds like white supremacy to me when I
It
listen to them.
is. It is. And that's been going on for a long time. When I took this class back last year, it was a black music history class. And happy Black History Music Month, everybody. Um when I took this class last year, it talked about how in the AME church there was a fair skinned bishop that had came down to I think South Carolina or something, and the people at the church, they were just having a Holy Ghost good time.
Mm,
What we would deem is that because they were straight off of the slave ships, and that's what they brought from Africa.
right.
And he said, "Oh no, this is just and just basically demonize them, and that still goes on to this day."
Well, I got a question for all the black people. How many of y'all parents had them wooden spoons hanging up on the wall? Anybody parents had them wooden spoons and them wooden masks hanging up on the wall? Anybody?
Nah,
Anybody?
my mom didn't have none of that.
Okay, so your mama
We had
didn't.
the typical all black furniture with the glass in the background with the
Yeah, we
16
did. That's
CD
my
changer
grandmama
with
too.
the oversized speakers.
Yeah, my grandmama had that too, but she had them wooden spoons at one time because the little Chinese man that used to do all the little import stuff, he would come over every now and then, and he get her to buy something, and she still had all of her pictures up of Malcolm X and all of them other folks. But I grew up in a house where they used to have them wooden spoons on the wall and all that stuff. And I don't know if my stepmother had the wooden spoons up, but every black home you went into in one time in the hood had these wooden spoons and wooden things up on the walls.
Wooden spoon, wooden fork, wooden.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nah, my
I
grandparents
got
had
that in my house. Shoot.
regular pictures and a
But
Bible, a
Daryl,
big white Bible. You remember that big white Bible that
oh
was
I
yeah.
big
got
as
that. I got
somebody?
the big white Bible too. That's all at my house down in Alabama.
Listen here, Leah.
With the birth family tree in it.
Come on, and the pictures it had visuals inside the Bible,
Yeah, and
vivid
all
pictures.
white characters too.
All white, yeah.
Listen here. That's how we grew up. And but I grew up in the church where the folks would come to your house and say, "You better take that down off the wall. You don't know what kind of spirit is in them spoons." Hananama shananamaha. And they tell
Now,
you better take them things down. There's demons in them spoons and
yeah,
forks.
and I'd put the demon spoon right across their backside. No, 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 no.
Listen.
La, 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 la.
Listen now, but the demon ain't in the spoon and fork that you have every Sunday when you go down in the mess hall and keep eating all that stuff that the Holy Ghost keep telling you that you ain't supposed to be eating no more. But you still chowing down and you ain't got no discipline. But the demon is in this fork and the spoon that's hanging on the wall. Okay,
And
Yeah,
you got
what
full-blown
kind of analogy is that?
diabetes going back for that second piece of caramel cake.
Right.
that
It's the praying to God to deliver you from the diabetes and high blood pressure when all you got to do, like my uncle used to say, is turn your plate over. That's
Yeah,
it.
pretty much, and stop eating all of that stuff. But I'm just saying, this is what I was raised in. I was raised in an environment where everything was demonic. I tell you all everything. And that's probably one of the reasons why when I finally broke free and was like, okay, I'm gonna go to have me a drink. And I had a boss who was younger than I was, and that's what got me to drinking, y'all, if you want to know. Because he used to have all these meetings all the time at these strip clubs and stuff where we had no business being up in these strip clubs, talking about we having no meetings. Ain't no work going on. But I'm like, okay, well,
there's
I'm gonna
work
go.
going on, just not the work you were doing.
Yeah, there was work. There was work.
Yeah.
Amen. Bless God. Lex, is that you? Say something so I know it's you. before I have to put up a screen thing. Oh Lord, let me get my little.
Hey, you
Okay,
can hear me?
I can't hear you.
So, yeah, I want to, I'm saved. I've been saved for a long time, but I want to join in on this topic because it makes me think about yoga. I've never participated in yoga.
Mhm.
I would like to because I would love some, thorough instructions on stretching. But I have heard on numerous occasions, oh, don't do it, it's demonic, and XYZ, XYZ. I know how to guard my ear and my eye gate.
Exactly.
I know how to guard it. I
Right.
know what to let in, what not to. If I attend yoga, I have no plans, nor would I ever summons up any spirits. I don't know what I know better, you know. I know
Well,
better.
they it was, I think it's a Hindu practice, and they have all of those weird gods.
That's correct. Hinduism. You got it right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you. But so I mean, I don't know, cause I'm kind of leery on it. I know I went to like a couple yoga sessions here in Detroit at this black yoga spot, and it was kind of weird up in there. I
Was
ain't
it?
gonna hold you, yeah.
My,
But
my,
I'm gonna tell
my
you this. I'm gonna go to you in just a second, Daryl. Let me say this,
mhm.
and this is how I say it. Now you don't have to agree with what I'm gonna say, but I'm a upset the apple cart here for just a minute, because people say, oh, well, it's the Hindus and all of this stuff. What's the difference between their num yo ho re ye kill than yo he coming in a Honda yo sa ta bahaya?
And
Bingo.
then
See,
it be fake. And
now
then
hold
your
on.
tongues be so
Right,
fake. But
right.
go ahead.
Now, this is the thing with you all that gets me. Now, that really gets me. These people over here, numb your hold the reggae kill, and you over here talking about the shandola bo shishay tay tay, and then so they shandola tay tay is better than they're your shandola bo tay tay is better than they nam yo ho ray. Here's the thing that I'm saying. Only point I'm trying to make is this: if you going in there with the intent of looking for Hindu gods and you're looking for to be
Yeah.
immersed in Hinduism, then that's what you will find, right? If you're going in there saying, I'd like to learn some techniques on how to stretch, how to move, how to prolong my and strengthen my core, because if you understand yoga, from what I understand and the little bit of research that I did, it's about strengthening your inner core.
That's all.
That's what it's about. So if you going in there saying, "Oh, I want to learn about the Hindu gods," I'm not chanting with you. Now you can teach me some breathing techniques because I think some of y'all really do need some breathing techniques, especially when you having sex. Because some of y'all breathing
Oh,
techniques. I think you might need to use some breathing techniques. Some of you might need to use some breathing techniques.
Breathing techniques, that's called an orgasm, sir.
I know, but I'm just saying. Well, some people, Daryl, we grown. Wait a minute now. Are you,
Uh-oh.
Daryl? Are
Here we
you
go.
wanting me to? Are you,
Here
Daryl?
we, here we go.
Daryl.
Yes, sir.
Now you and well, I mean, I could talk to Daryl like this, but Daryl,
Yep.
come on.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Some women have never had an orgasm.
Oh my God.
Let's be frank. They
Give me a
don't even.
call. Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? So if they learn some different stuff, it might help them achieve the goal a little better and sometimes faster because we grown, we all got things to do.
Okay.
Call
Pause.
the
Pause.
cigar vlogger.
Okay, go ahead, Leah. Go ahead, Leah. Oh, I'm
Pause.
about to get
Lord
it
have
now. Go ahead, Leah.
mercy.
I'm sorry,
Jesus.
Lex.
Nope.
You done open up a can of worms. This is all Lex's fault. I'm blaming you.
First of all, we are not supposed to get up here and call yoga demonic. You literally,
But
it's
church
all
people
about
do call it.
meditation.
But
It's
church
all
people
about
call it
concentration
demonic.
and stretching your body. And if you choose to go to a yoga class that has another underlying meaning, then that's on you. That you didn't do your homework. But it's good to stretch your body, especially if you're married or you desire to be married.
Right.
It's good
Amen.
to stretch your body if you
Yeah.
desire to live long. It's good to stretch your body if you're getting older. You want your
Mhm.
limbs to be limber,
you gotta watch
Yes,
skinny.
that
indeed.
back.
Yes,
But the
indeed.
limberness comes,
Mhm.
Leah, from my studies. Just a little bit of studying I've done because I'm actually about to take another class.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's about strengthening your core. They've got a
Mhm.
class, a yoga class for men over 40. Because and one of the things that yoga will do for you, it will also help you to keep your balance. Because even as you get older, you know, sometimes you're off balance. You're walking and you'll try to get up real quick, and you'll notice that you wobbling when you get up. And the reason why that is because your core is off balance. And what they will do is they will teach you how to strengthen the core that you have. I'm just saying. Now, I didn't say it was demonic, Leah. I'm just telling you what church folks think and feel.
Well, Marcellus and Leah and everybody, well, maybe we should all go sign up for the Kojic Women's Convention exercise class with First Lady Wooden.
That was some bullshiggity. Bullshit.
So we can strengthen that core.
Exercise your body. Lay aside your weight. Did you see that foolishness?
Lay aside your weight.
With 3 girdles on. Praise God.
Right. Lex, this is all your fault, and I'm blaming you for this.
They're gonna put me out. They're gonna put me out, Jesse, because I'm gonna have on my yoga fit with all my little cakes hanging out. I'm gonna put on my waist trainer with the thigh trainers and the arm trainers and the chin trainer.
I'm gonna be like William McRae, snatched.
You heard me?
I saw St. James tip over in here. Did I see St. James? I thought I did. Did I miss St. James, or was that somebody else?
Ouch.
I thought I saw it.
No, St. James is in the building.
He is. Okay. Well, shout out to St. James.
I take martial arts. So if people think that yoga is demonic, what about martial arts? It's an Asian fighting style.
A lot of people don't know you take karate classes, though, Daryl.
I take Salat. There's big difference. Big difference. And it's geared toward people that are older, because I ain't trying to do all them high leg kicks. Everything we do is close quarter combat. So, yeah, and it helps with my flexibility and other things. It just helps. It's a good self-defense technique, but it also is great exercise.
Yeah. Well,
I just want to point out that Lovie does high leg kicks.
He should with them skinny ass legs of his. But anyway,
he a Thundercat. What you say, Marcellus? Them Thundercat prophets. I'll never forget that.
I bet he do high leg kicks from what
I bet you he do too. Thunder.
He can box. Lovey can box, and he do high leg kicks on the leg.
Leah loves Lovey, boy.
He can diddy party box. Stop. Let me stop.
And you know who also does, martial arts? Manasseh. He does martial arts.
Quit playing Blue Suit too?
Yep.
Oh my God. He could sing opera and kick your butt.
He's a man of many dimensions.
He sure is got some dimensions, all right.
He got some dimensions, all right.
Not dementia.
He got some dimensions. Yeah, he got some dimensions, all right.
Oh man. Listen here. I don't even know what to say about Manasseh. All I'm gonna say is
that's
thank
a conundrum right there. He got childbearing hips.
Let me tell you though, I appreciate Manasseh for coming forward and telling us the truth about that information that was revealed yesterday.
Praise God.
I appreciate him telling that, because some people walk around here pretending, and Manasseh just went ahead and set the record straight. So I appreciate him for that. I really do.
Yeah.
I just want to address the childbearing hips. That man is in great shape. And he's slim. Now, if you fat with childbearing hips, that's a problem.
No, I saw that birthday video when he brought his dad.
Daddy, I was getting ready to say, Leah, what you talking about here in shape? Did you see him?
Man, that nigga.
The last time I seen him, he was sitting up there on Hub. Am I missing something?
Man, that drug came in there, looked like he had on some capri pants or something.
What's wrong with capri pants?
On a woman, cool. On a man, come on now. Fix it, Jesus.
I don't know. Y'all need to show me a recent picture because I'm not seeing it.
I'm tired of all this irregular body shaming going on, because wait a minute now.
Wait a minute. Y'all talk about Todd. Y'all talk about Todd. What's his name over there?
Here.
Mike Todd.
I ain't body shaming. I'm bullshit shaming. Excuse me, y'all.
Now hold on a minute. How you the man sitting up there with muscles and pecs? I didn't see no man that was out of shape.
I ain't say he was out of shape. I said he had childbearing hips. There's a difference.
Like football players. Football players got big butts and big legs too, right?
Look here. I don't know about what no. Only thing I know.
See, he said, don't do it.
Look here. I don't be looking. See, I'm watching the game. You ladies is watching hips and thighs and all that.
Damn.
No, but that other dude has long legs too, because even Jamal Bryant gave him a compliment the other day. What's that guy's name?
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah, him, Cam Newton,
Cam
him,
Newton.
yeah.
Jamal
Cam Newton
Bryant
is six
was
foot six. Yeah.
mesmerized.
Yeah, he's sitting there with them shorts on and some hard bottom shoes. I don't know what was going on. That boy ain't been right since I don't know. Let me
But
stop.
no, but no, Jamal was over there. You know them some nice legs. Them show.
So
He done
y'all
been
ain't never
down there in
looked at a guy and
Atlanta.
thought y'all ain't never looked at a guy and thought, wow, he's pretty. Like
No,
Prince. Prince was pretty.
I'm gonna
no.
sit this one
Well,
out.
I would never say pretty. I wouldn't use that language.
But Prince
I'm a
was
more mature
pretty though.
man of a certain age, Leah. I can admit when somebody
Oh man,
is has nice features,
I'm
features
a
that I probably would have wanted to have,
look. I'm a grown
I
ass man.
can admit that. But as far as saying that the person is pretty, I wouldn't use that language. I've
Hell
seen some
no.
dudes where I've been like, you know what? I would have loved to have his hair. I probably would have really liked his nose. You
I
know,
But y'all call him, but men call other men that act a little, not, I don't want to say sassy because that's a terrible word. Like back in the day when men were a little bit more slick with the dressing and they might have permed their hair or had different types of hairstyle. I mean, I grew up 80s baby, so I kind of seen a lot of different cultures. They would call them pretty boys. Y'all did that. Y'all named them that.
That's
I
that
don't
was
think
like
that
a
Jamal
that
was
was like
being
a
gay.
backhanded that was like a backhanded joke. I'm gonna just tell you now. That
well,
was
it's
Oh,
actually a little
okay. Well,
insult. That
educate
was
me
an
then.
insult. That's
yeah,
an
that wasn't
insult.
like, oh, he's a pretty boy. No, it wasn't
Right,
like
right.
that.
That's an insult.
Unless you was, I can't speak about that community because I'm on the outside looking all over down the hill and around the corner because I don't know nothing about that, so I'm gonna stay my lane.
We understand that's not your address. Get to the point, sir. I got
My
you.
point is, my point is, I ain't never looked at no dude, no big assy dude, and be like, "Oh, he's pretty." No, I'm a grown ass man,
That's
dog.
just because.
And
Go
oh,
ahead,
I'm sorry.
Jesse. No, go ahead, Jesse.
The viewpoint of masculinity has
Oh Lord.
changed drastically in the last few generations because, my grandfather's generation, I feel like they were like the true essence of masculinity, but a lot of things that they did and the way they carried themselves is different than what we view as okay,
Well, let me just say this too, because I've talked to a few women in my life. Some of these people that's all this masculinity and all of this stuff, when you get them behind bars, not behind bars, but behind the doors, or close the doors. Marvin Sapp. Some of these dudes is doing all kinds of stuff. You having stuff put in you. You're doing all kinds of stuff. Now you on the public, you just missed all this masculinity stuff, but you got some fingers and some stuff going in places, and all sorts of things are happening. And to me, that
Oh, did that nigga just say fingers?
you heard what
Oh,
I said.
every man wants a ditty.
You heard what I said. But I'm just saying,
Jesus.
this is the thing. Grown men need to be mature when we have these types of discussions. We have to be mature. I'm too old to be talking as if we don't understand life and we don't understand the processes of life and how people are on all different types of spectrum. I am mature enough to have these types of conversations. And you listen, I don't go through all of that rigmarole. Listen, people like what they like, they who they are, and I let people be. But this is Lex fault. Y'all remember that? Who started this conversation? This was all Lex.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Look,
blaming
yeah,
Lex.
we
oh
I
yeah.
was just coming to talk about the yoga, and then Jesse. It's your money or whatever, but to go and see Sinners again, that movie was not good. It was just not good. I don't know if we hyped it up because
God.
it was an all black, 90% black cast, but I didn't like it.
Why you
Well,
didn't like it? Tell
you are
me,
one of the
tell
It
me.
just
few.
got real cheesy at the end. Vampires, so everybody turned into vampires. You could have
But you
kept
didn't,
that.
you didn't
You
get
one of the
the
few people that didn't like it.
I can't wait to
you.
go see it because I love me a good vampire movie.
It
No,
was a
Well, you
it
good
go.
was,
movie. It
it
was a
was, it was.
great movie.
I've seen some mixed reviews there. I've seen some mixed reviews. She ain't the only one. Um, but I look at it because a lot of movies I don't. That's why I don't really watch movies that often, and I don't watch a lot of TV because all of it's really boring to me. I
It
just go
so
to the
is.
movies for the experience.
It
Mm-hmm.
so
But
is.
I was looking at the overall message of the movie. Talking about again white people infiltrating our music, our culture, and then they want to take it and make it like it's their own. I was blown aback because I was like, this is a totally new storyline versus what we've seen in the last 20 years. I don't need another slave movie. I don't need another gangster movie. I'm like, this is what I want to see, some more innovation. So that's why I went up for it because we
Right.
don't get that no more.
But that guy that did the movie, was it Fallen? I think it was called Fallen or what, or I forget the name of the movie. You remember the guy, the black guy, and he was crying in the movie, sitting in the chair, and he was like stuck. I forget the name of that movie. But it was written by that the black writer and director
You
fella.
talking
I
about
forget.
Get Out?
Get Out. Get Out was phenomenal.
Is it Jordan Peele?
Jordan
Yeah,
Yeah,
Peele,
Jordan
yeah.
that was.
Peele. Yeah.
That movie was phenomenal. Things like that, Jesse, that's what's going to turn the tide because we got to get some people to think outside the box. But Lex, I want to tell you this. They made Sinners on a very, very small budget because they were trying to maximize revenue, right? That movie, I forget the dollar amount, but the last time I read it, it's almost made like over $400 million. Okay, and they're just now like taking it across the water and over the sea and all that stuff. So that's how they really start to beef up the money. So I'm thinking when you say at the end it kind of tapered off a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I think it probably tapered off, and y'all don't judge me for this, but they probably ran out of money.
I can
The
believe
budget was
it.
probably getting low.
I
Well,
saw
they
it too. I
also
saw the budget dwindling down.
Yeah.
That's what.
well,
Yeah.
I don't think it was also budget. They did really good with it. They had a nice. It was a good budget, and they did really good with the budget. The projections were really low, but they exceeded the projections within the first weekend. So that was amazing.
Right.
But the reason why it took them so long to expose the vampire portion is because they had to build the story.
Right.
So in a movie like that, when you're introducing a new concept, especially to our culture, which we don't get a lot of all black cast horror films at all. So this is really, really good that it had the horror, it had the gore. They were able to
No
bring
sex?
in,
Yeah,
yeah, lots of
Oh, it
it was
was
sex
sex.
Okay,
practices,
good.
yeah,
Because I'm
some
like,
and
you
had
can't
big.
have no good
everything
vampire
into
movie
it,
without no sex.
and
I'm
it
just saying, but go
still
ahead.
no, yeah, and it still built the idea that you could see being true to yourself. You saw the 1900s white supremacist movement in there. You
Mm,
saw how another culture, and actually they even went so far as to bringing in um, the indigenous people into the
mm,
movie. They introduced
Hmm.
them into the movie to make
okay.
sure you understood that this land technically don't belong to you, but you feel like you got the right to take it from said people and infiltrate.
Hmm.
They
It was
always have a
all
deeper
of
meaning a
the
lot of
the
times.
nuances were met in my
Mm,
personal opinion in this movie. They did a
Mm-hmm.
really good job.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, to me, Lex, a lot of I think disconnect with you versus us is like you're looking for like that old Hollywood feel, and I think that's just gone. You're gonna be looking for a long time if you think you're gonna get good movies like Soul Food and all of that back in the day. It's just even Color Purple. I don't think it's just gonna happen. So you're just gonna have to make do with what you got.
now
You
let me ask
know.
you a question, Lex. Do you like
Uh,
Tyler Perry movies?
oh no,
Okay,
no. I'm
okay.
so sorry. My apologies.
No, no,
But
okay, good.
even
I
when
just
he
wanted
was,
to know. Okay, good, good.
I just even when he was doing the plays, even this, I just don't like the sometimes the writing be bad. It's
Right,
just too fake. They overacting.
right.
You know, it's just no.
And I hate
Same
to
old,
say this.
same old.
I
Right.
hate to say this publicly because I am a fan of the plays now. But
Them plays gave me gas. Shit. I'm sorry.
I'm a fan of the plays.
Mm.
But they Tyler Perry done fucked up a lot of stuff. Excuse my language, but he done messed up a lot of stuff in Black Hollywood with this
Mm.
lazy writing, lazy production, lazy everything.
The
He
light
done messed
skinned
up a lot of
character
stuff.
always good, and the dark skinned character's evil and all that.
Well, it be the wigs for me. Have y'all ever seen how the wigs just go? They go from like bad to worse. Have y'all ever looked at the hairdos in his movie? Be like, wait a minute, she didn't even have this hair in the last scene. You switched up this whole wig for this scene. This was a whole different. This was a whole different look. I just be confused by them wigs be flipping me out. They really do. Them wigs. Even on the men. Have y'all ever seen when Shamar Moore had them corn rolls? Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. I'm just saying.
But that was my favorite movie out of all the movies he made because of what's her name?
Kimberly Elise.
Kimberly Elise, baby. When she sat
Her
across that
fine
man
self. Go
from
ahead.
that table, eating that salad and stabbing that fork into that plate, it just we felt it. Ooh, felt it in our souls. And then when she let him almost drown in the bubbles, it was the attention to detail for that movie, for that one.
Listen here. Kimberly Elise is gorgeous. I really wish because we haven't seen her in anything because I know she was on a spiritual journey for a while. I just hope she comes back because I really enjoy her acting. I just enjoy her. I think people should cast her. She needs to do more work, and that's the other thing about Tyler Perry. If Tyler Perry likes you, he want to cast you and everything. Because I tell you, Mr. Brown and Tamala Mann show up in One More Thing. They at the old folk retirement home, got a whole new show. I said, how long can this 5 minutes last? I'm so sick of the two of them. He's your
But y'all do
granddaddy.
know that there is a culture of people that he does speak to, that, and that is the conversation that has to be had, is that
he caters to
our
his market.
community, our community is fractured, and he's capitalizing on that. However you want to look at it. I'm a Tyler Perry fan just because he's a black man and he's a billionaire, and he invested back in black people.
I'm a fan of his business acumen. Yes.
I don't have nothing, negative to say. When he puts something out, I try to support it because I know that he supports black actresses and actors.
But he don't support directors and writers. That's my disconnect with the current Tyler. Yeah, we could have that conversation 10 years ago, but it's like there's a whole new generation of producers and writers, directors that could use a Tyler Perry behind them to take their career up the next level, and he's just like, no, I'm doing everything. And I'm like, bro, you're gonna have to stop.
Yeah, some of his writing, for me, some of his writing sucks. But I will tell you this: That Family That Prays with Kathy Bates.
That's my favorite one.
Baby, talk about it, Marcellus.
That's my favorite Tyler Perry movie of all time because I love Kathy Bates. And the Alfred Woodard. Alfred Woodard also doesn't get the credit that she deserves. Let me tell you something. Them two in that whole movie, and even Sanaa Lathan played that part. You got to tell the truth. She played that part. Now Tyler had on that wig in that one scene with him and old boy, and I was like, now why they got Tyler? I told you the wigs.
My mama knows she be talking about Tyler when he be calling himself playing straight.
Be the wigs. Listen, I ain't going down that. What, Lord? You know what here, Jesse? One of these days, I'm going to do a whole show and upset some people. Listen here. Even if the people, listen, the only reason why these people can't be themselves is because of society. Because he can't come out and authentically be himself, because if he does, he may lose some deals. He's going to lose the whole black church community, all of that kind of stuff. He's not going to be able to be himself. But these church people is the one that's flocking to his movies and all that stuff, because I don't go see that stuff. It'd be the church people. The church people go there to look at all that stuff.
That's his target audience, is church people. It's no way in the world he could ever come out as being gay. He would lose all his market, because the most judgmental group of people out there is the black church folk.
Well, I would tend to say you're partly right. I think the white folks is judgmental too, but that's just my opinion.
I'm talking about his target market.
Yeah,
his
I know, but
market is black church.
But listen here, Daryl. Where do you think the black people learn how to be so judgmental when it comes to stuff? We learned it from these colonizers.
I guess. Oh.
Yeah, that's where it came from. White supremacy.
Amen.
We learned it from the colonizers.
Well, hell, give it back.
Oh no, they'll never give it back.
Like you were talking about church people, everything's a sin. But every church I ever went to would be a whole bunch of babies up in that church. So these saved folks are sure having sex, and all of them ain't married.
So
it'd be a
it's
lot.
funny you mentioned that, not to cut you off, Daryl, but Jesse, I think it was sometime last week you brought this up too. So y'all remember the pastor in whatever town it was that made that young girl come up in front of the church, to
Terry
reveal that she was
Jackson.
pregnant?
His name is Terry Jackson.
Okay,
To be
so
exact, yes.
Jesse brought it up last week. Well, y'all, I'm from Texas, and like you were saying last week, Jesse, I've seen that happen at least 100 times. Even
Hmm.
with women 25, 30 years old. Several years back, I was going to a white church, and this not even a black thing. I think this more so of a Bible Belt thing. I
Mm-hmm.
was going to a white church, and my pastors, they had been pastors for 40 years where their youngest daughter, blonde hair, blue eyes, got pregnant out of wedlock. Not only did she get pregnant, she got pregnant by somebody that wasn't even saved. She got pregnant by a Middle Eastern Muslim man.
Ooh.
So these white people they were not happy, but they made her do exactly what that black pastor, and the mom did to the teenage girl. They set her down. She was no longer on the praise team. And let me go ahead and interject, because when this was going on, when they set her down, she was maybe 24, 25 years old.
Wow.
But oh yeah, they set her down off the praise team. We didn't see her for a while, and she more so revealed what was going on
Mm.
after she had the baby. I guess that was her repentance moment. I
Right.
guess we had this welcome back ceremony or
Mm.
whatever. But yeah, it's not just a black
Do
thing.
they ever
It's
make the daddy come up in front of the church
No,
and
No.
they
apologize?
don't. And the thing is, because when it happened in church, when I saw it, the young lady, but she's a little older than me, but she was like 16 at the time. And she got pregnant by the boy on the drums. He never got up in church and never got on that mic and ever
Yeah,
had to sit down.
them musicians, man, they be getting laid like a mug. Let me tell you something. In church, the musicians be getting all the play. I'm gonna tell you right now. And Leah, I don't know if you can testify to this, or you can just hush in this section of the program. But one thing I have found is that darn musicians and them darn singers and the whole music department. The music department be getting down. Y'all hear me? And I just be like, wow. I saw one of the somebody, I can't say that because somebody asked me about this person earlier. I don't want to tell that. So let me hush because I can say too much. I can say too much. But we had one of our musicians who I ran into him at some place. Go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
yeah,
Y'all be
once it was all said and done, the mom, the pastor's wife, remember these are white people, she had us praying every Sunday that the Muslim man would be converted to Christianity, and it was just a big mess. But
but they did but he didn't need to be a Christian to give her the to have sex with.
uh,
He
they were
laid down
trying.
with her. He laid down with her and gave her what she needed and wanted at the time. They had nothing to do with none of that other stuff.
Hey, BB,
They
shut up.
laid aside all of them other weights and did what
She
they felt
she
they
thought
wanted to do.
when he was speaking in Arabic, she thought he was talking in tongues. That's how
Oh,
he
okay,
got
that's
her.
what it was.
You
That's
need
how
to
he got
stop.
her.
You messed.
Speaking your
So
heavenly language.
I think it was more so they whole legacy thing. You know how people be trying to clean it up. They
Right.
kept it real, but they were trying to clean it up. Long story short, I don't know how real it was because he was from a wealthy family as well.
Mm,
Long story short, he did end up becoming Christian and they end up getting married. Now,
Mm.
I don't know if all this was forced.
It
I don't
was.
know how
It
real it
was.
is.
It was.
but I mean, I think about this sometimes. Could I actually be with somebody that didn't share the same faith that I have?
I
I don't
could.
really. Yes, and let me tell you something. I don't really believe with the saints be always talking about people be unequally yoked. Y'all unequally yoked with all of these people that's carrying Bibles and crosses, and you unequally yoked. How are you defining unequally yoked? And I talked about that in a private live a couple of days ago. And when I talked to you guys in the private chat, some of this stuff that you all keep talking about, people being unequally yoked. How many relationships have you been in when a person was a Christian and you done found out y'all unequally yoked?
A bunch.
I'm just saying.
Because I get so sick of people thinking that their religion is the only way to God and to heaven. I get sick of people with that. Oh,
And
you going to hell because you don't believe what I believe. And you need to go over there and sit down.
the amount of cognitive dissonance amongst Christians. I can't deal with it. You know, you try to talk to some of these people and it's just like, hey, how are you doing? Jesus is good. God is good. You know, it's just like, hey, wait a minute. You know, let's come back to humanity for a moment. They just, everything is too much. I can't deal with
Well, that used
Christians.
to
I
be
ain't gonna
me.
hold
I
you.
ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That used to
We
be me.
know, because that's why you was up in that damn
Right,
dispensary
look.
asking a million questions. You supposed to
That used
go
to be
in and
me.
out.
I know that used to be me, but it was arrogance, and that all comes from pride. That's why I know that Tiffany Montgomery and all these people that are doing this stuff on the internet, talking about they doing this stuff and work for the Lord. No, you're puffed up in pride. If you listen to these people speak, it is nothing but pride. You listen to how they talk, you're just like, now God ain't tell you that, and you don't have to say that about this person. The reason why you're name calling and you're saying all of that stuff the way that you're saying is because you puffed up in pride. Can I just use myself and lay myself down on the altar, since we talking about altar versus altar? Listen here.
Mm,
Let me say this. A lot of times when I even dealt with a certain content creator, I won't say no names right now. The way that I dealt with that content creator a lot of time was I was really full of pride, because I was sticking my chest out, because you're not gonna tell me, and no, nigga, I ain't on your level, don't want to be on your level. That's a lot of that
oh,
stuff is a lot of that stuff is pride. You're saying a lot of that stuff because you're just puffed up in pride. And my authentic self, I don't even be thinking about these people, because first of all, I'm not a criminal. So of course we're not on the same level, because I don't do illegal activity.
mm,
You understand what I'm saying? I don't do none of the things that these people do. So me worried about there and trying to fight all of these, digital fights, it was just so stupid. And it's even stupid when you look at other content creators do it. Now watching Tiffany Montgomery over there with her, hair pulled back. I don't even listen, ladies.
Ready to fight us and cuss us out and stuff. Ready to
Can
fight
I
us and
say
cuss us
something to
out,
the
then
other
altar
topic though,
call.
really quickly?
And I need to say something to the other topic too. You
Yeah,
want to go, Leah? What you want
let
to
Leah
do?
go, and then we'll come back to Lex. I'll
Okay.
hush my
Sure,
mouth. Go ahead,
I'll be
Leah.
quick. I'll be quick. It was about what you brought up, Lex. I just want to talk in perspective because I grew up in the dogmatic church, so
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of the reasoning behind a lot of the antics. I'm gonna just say that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not here to say that it's right or wrong or that we should continue certain practices, because we all know that tradition is rooted in the past, and we need to be making new traditions for future as we learn new things. So
Right.
I understand that, and God is forever forward moving. So if we're in God, we should be moving forward. I get all of that, but I feel like the standing up before the church is similar to what you literally just did, except for you weren't forced to do it. It brings about a sense of community. It brings about a sense of accountability,
Right.
because I love what Bishop, I don't know if you say his name, Wooden, not Wooden, but Wooden,
Wooden,
the
wooden.
Menace. I call him the Menace.
Mm-hmm.
But he
With
said
it,
something so profound, which was, we're not looking for sinless perfection as a standard, because it's impossible. And that's why people walk around, like Jesse said, with the cognitive dissonance, because you're trying to achieve something that is not physically possible in this earthly body. The thing is that you have to achieve high. And when you conquer something, stay in a conquered state. You know what I'm saying? And when you are able to hold people accountable in a community setting, that's part of the reason why people are stood before the congregation. And a lot of people will go with it because I made a mistake. It is what it is. We love you. Let's move on and keep going. But I
Mm-hmm.
think we've gotten to this culture where people feel like, and I'm wrapping it up right here, where people feel like you can come correct me and I have no relationship with you. You're not in the community. You're not in my village.
Right.
And Black people are not a monolith. So everything that you teach over where you are may not be what I grew up under. So you
Right.
can't come over here and try to make me abide by something that I wasn't,
But
number
but
one, fully educated on. You know what I'm
correct.
saying?
But Leah,
So
that's
I just wanted to play devil's advocate a little bit.
right.
Bad word
And
choice
I'm
of
gonna
words,
come to
but
next after this. I'm a piggyback on this. This is one of the reasons why in the book that we're going to be studying here in the next couple of days, called the Reimagining Church, is because church and those types of relationships, Leah, are built out of community, right? So when it's organic and you have a relationship with those people inside of your community, then they can speak to you in other ways that people who are not attached to you in your community or covenant, how I put it, because you're in covenant with those people, you're in relationship with those people. So it's a little bit different. Going to you, Lex. You have the floor, but that's how I word that, because I understand where you're coming from.
I think I want to say something about the unequally yoked in marriage part. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always been taught marriage doesn't even exist in heaven. And as far as I know, when it's my time, I'm going to stand before God by myself. I don't think God is going to ask, if this were my situation, I don't think God is going to ask, why did you marry that unsaved man? I don't think he'll ask me that.
But the
Yeah.
book of Acts takes care of that too, if you actually know the scripture, because the Bible says something about a woman and how she lives her life that could possibly have something to do with the salvation of her husband. But I'm not going to go
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay.
Also, it will be wonderful to marry a man that's Christian and this, that, and the third, and maybe, just maybe, because that does not promise to have this healthy, loving household. Because
Right.
I know of many Christian households that are turned upside down,
Right.
from the wedding all the way through. Um, so I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. So in regards to marrying somebody that's Christian, I don't think I just absolutely necessarily have to do that. I don't think
No, but
it,
I think Lex, it has to do with the person, and it has to
mhm.
do with communication and understanding relationships. And I've said this a million times, and the women get so mad at me when I say this. I don't care that you get you put a ring on your finger, on a man's finger, and you go sign a marriage certificate. That doesn't make you married. Marriage doesn't start at the courthouse.
Mhm.
Marriage actually starts really in the heart of the individual and the communication beyond pieces of paper. Now, yes, with the government and all of that stuff, it's legal at that particular point, but marriage is a covenant. It is an agreement between two people. It's something way deeper than how we haphazardly address marriage. Now, this is just for me, because marriage to everybody is going to be a little bit different too, because what your idea of what a successful marriage is completely different from what mine is. And the idea of what some of y'all think is real marriage, to me, I'd be like, and you talk to your husband, how that's what you think is okay? Okay. Okay,
Mar-
y'all married. Okay. And wife,
marriage is the
vice
one.
versa. Go ahead,
Oh,
Leah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you had stopped.
No,
My
no, go
bad.
ahead.
Marriage is the one thing that we have that is closest to a godlike relationship. And I
Hmm.
think that's what a lot of people miss about marriage. So it is very important that you don't marry unequally yoked. It's
Right,
extremely important because it's the covenant behind it. If
right,
you study covenant and how that construct is met, how God hands it down, how adulterers are mentioned in the Ten Commandments, how a single woman is permitted to live her life in a different way than a married woman. She is to be committed in a different way than a married woman.
correct,
God relieves a married woman of certain commitments that a single woman would do because she has to now give herself over to her husband. So
correct.
it is definitely not just a Christian thing. This is Judaism, this is Hinduism,
Oh,
this is
absolutely.
Jewish culture. This is across any religion that you find. There's going to be a consistent balance when it comes to the divine will of God and what it is for your life.
Right,
Right now, we're in a hypersexual and hyper me environment. So nobody's really taking the time to pay attention to the people that we marry. And you marrying into families with generational curses and you taking that stuff on and you trying it over and over and over again. Not to say that divorce is wrong. I'm not saying any of that. I'm
right.
just saying it might take you a couple times to get to the right one because we don't we don't marry according to the way it was originally designed and
Correct.
constructed. It's
Correct.
changed down through the years. So since it's changed, that means it's new rules,
Well,
new
but
things to
Leah,
look
you know
out
why it
for.
takes so many times. I think one of the reasons why it takes so many times is because you're not starting off a lot of. I hate to say this, and it's gonna sound like I'm being super religious, but I'm really truthful when I tell y'all this. I look at so many of my friends who've been married, divorced, they go get somebody else, and they go one person right after the other. And sometimes I'll even tell them when they get into the relationship or the marriage, I go, guess what? Y'all ain't gonna be married in 5 years. They get pissed off when I say things like that. And I'm so sorry, but I'm one of those friends. I say, you guys won't even be together in 5 years. And let me tell you why. I could say it. Because if your foundation is wrong, if the way you start a relationship in some of these people's relationship, you know it just is not gonna last. You can literally watch it. You could literally look at it and be like, they ain't gonna be together in 5 years. And I've not yet been wrong, not one time. And it's sad. And some of those friends have come back and said it. But Leah, marriage is more than just physical and even when you think about intimacy, because marriage goes so much deeper than a lot of this stuff. Because intimacy doesn't start with just a physical act. Intimacy has more or less to do with understanding. It has to do with purpose. It has to do with so many other things. Because to be intimately acquainted with someone means that you understand them on a level or a frequency that no one else understands them. That's really what covenant should be about. Your husband, your mate, should be able to look across the room and look at you and tell something about you that no one else in the room can see. You could be smiling and having a whole long conversation, and the person you with should be able to come over spiritually, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, and see something in you that no one else can see.
It's something I wanted to add that kind of made me think about Leah's point. And it makes me think about a recent chain of events that happened down to again that women's Kojic convention. There, that was a hot spot. Um, but I feel like the church is doing a huge disservice to a lot of people. The way we view our bodies, the way we handle sex and taboo topics, and I had brought that up in St. James's chat the other day. But when Karen Clark Sheard got up, somebody got some feedback. But
That's yeah.
all
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when Karen Clark Sheard got up, some people were just like, well, that was just distasteful. Y'all need to start having these conversations
Right.
about your bodies, about your partner's bodies. I mean, it doesn't have to be, put on display. You don't, some things take off a live stream. Okay, that's cool. But y'all need to start having these conversations because all y'all doing is saying, oh, don't have sex, don't have sex. That's just not practical anymore. Okay. People are having sex. And what you need to be doing is telling the young ladies and the young men, quit just going with the first person that hollers at you.
Well,
Start using
but how about
discernment.
how about telling young people to use protection? Now, see, here's the thing. Do you all realize, based upon the studies, one of these days, maybe I should come out and have this conversation. Do you know how many STDs and stuff is going on in the institutional church? Let's not talk about the world. Let's talk about church people. If you all knew the amount of data as far as these young people in these institutions that are getting STDs and all sorts of diseases, you all
And
would,
it's
you guys would be shocked.
And it's not just STDs. Let's talk about the spiritually transmitted diseases.
Well,
Because no,
that disease, that
it
disease, that stays with you until you die. I think
it does, and you
you don't
sitting
get rid of
here,
that disease.
you wrestling, you never had that demon before, and that demon is on your back now because you just laid down with the first person that tried you because they made you feel loved or they made you feel seen and they knew the right things to say. They're not having these conversations. They're just like, don't have sex, don't have sex. So you need to use protection not only in the physical but in the the spiritual also. But they're not
Right.
having these conversations because they're stuck in 1942.
Well, one of the reasons why, and I talked about this earlier, The reason why Tiffany Montgomery, in my opinion, is quite dangerous is because she's having mental intercourse with a lot of women on social media, and they're viewing her as if she's some sort of righteous person and woman, when all she is doing is creating a whole bunch of havoc and using manipulation, which is witchcraft, to manipulate the minds of a lot of people. And that's why they keep referring to her as a witch. But
Yeah,
she's
because
not,
you can't even come out and display your husband. That's wrong.
she's not the only one. There's some men on this internet over the last couple of days. You could see it. They've been displaying witchcraft too. Like the man is doing it. It's not just her. It's actually a lot of them.
Oh
But
yeah.
you can't say that. But you're not supposed to say that. It's witchcraft, you all. When I try to manipulate you and control you and cajole you to think like me, that's one of the reasons why I try to tell y'all all the time. I'm not trying to make anybody think like me. We're here to just to have the conversation. If you're trying to manipulate people to see things your way and only see things your way, and if you don't see it my way, God's gonna get you, and you're against God, and God don't like you, and he's gonna put you on a list, and he's coming after you. That's witchcraft. That is witchcraft. You don't get to tell me how I'm supposed to think and how I'm supposed to approach a subject or look at a subject just because that's your doctrinal point of view. Doctrine just means teaching. That's how you've been taught. So you've been taught a certain way. And Leah just made this point just a minute ago. You don't get to come over here and start telling me this stuff because that's just the way you were taught. I might have been taught something totally different over here. But now God is against me because I don't think like you and believe like you. So God hates me now. Come on now. Welcome to the show, Sean.
Hey everybody. Thank you for having me. Hi, panel. I'm in and out. Like my other phone died. I hope y'all didn't move on. I want to say something about this Karen Clark Sheard thingy. Um, I personally didn't see anything wrong with it. And if you are telling women to get married, then what's the problem with telling them how to get married? I mean, stay married, I guess I'm trying to say. Because it's like, it's okay for Mother McCool and Mother Kelly to say these things. But then when she repeats it, now it's a problem.
It's because she sexualized her husband. And it goes back to what Jesse was saying, um, which is the problem. It's the issue. And that it's really unfortunate that she's receiving backlash. I think it's coupled with a few things just because they really don't, a lot of people don't like the Sheards per se.
I
But
really think that's what it is.
at the end of the day, a woman showing affection and sexual energy towards her husband, it can be frowned upon. Just like when Kiera said, whatever, I forgot the
My husband and my baby's been in my
Was
guts.
in her
yeah,
guts.
that. And
Okay.
everybody
But
just
then
lost their mind about it. And it's like, but did she lie? It'd be now, okay, it wasn't necessarily appropriate. Okay, you could argue that point, but it's moot because she's married and she ain't lied.
And
but then when you I'm sorry, Jesse. When you look at it, it's almost like, I hope I don't say this wrong. It's almost like the quote unquote saved, the extra saved ones, like be blessed all day, Jesus the Lord. Like it's like they don't want you to really be human. Like so many church marriages fail because women are told not to do this or that's too
Over
nasty and don't
62%
do
of them.
this.
Over
Like
62%. I'm just saying.
I know someone personally, a pastor that divorced his wife. He said, I like head. She refuses to give me head. If I cheat, then I'm wrong. But if this is something that your husband expresses to you that he liked, but you telling him what my mama said and my grandma didn't, Now you're divorced.
Exactly. It's
And
all
see
about it's
that,
about balance. It's
and
about
then
balance.
it's because y'all love going around saying, "Oh, you gotta have counseling before marriage." But what is y'all up in there discussing at this counseling session?
And
How
who
to
who
how
you
to bake
who you
bread?
and who's your
Who and
counselor?
who phone?
Because he too busy looking at your wife. Who's your counselor? Is Brian Carn your counselor? You going to Brian
It
Carn for
is.
marriage counseling?
And I
And
Hell
say
to the
all the
no.
you gotta
time,
think though, think about the person from I don't want to say his name, but from that podcast where the girl was talking about she was ironing his clothes to go for him to go meet his side chick.
My
Pure
wifey,
insanity.
my
Yeah,
Okay,
that
future
lady was
wifey.
so
Mhm.
insane.
right, Sean, that's what I'm saying, right? So follow me. So if you got people who are unhappy, some of these first ladies is marrying cats that don't have size, that can't do anything that they would like orally.
Rain.
They're unhappy in their marriage. Then the man could marry a woman for aesthetics because she got to look a certain way, got to have a proper body. She can speak to the people, but she don't speak to you in a place that helps
Hmm.
you to build not
Yep.
just your ministry, but your inner man and your spirit man. And y'all out here cheating on each other, but you taking advice from these knuckleheads. That's what my granddaddy used to
Oh
call them,
Lord,
knuckleheads. You remember that?
I hear a name done rose up in my spirit. Maggie, 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 where you at,
But see,
Maggie?
that's why I
Oh
always
Lord.
say, even when you're doing counseling, we as church people, well, I'm not going to say we because I'm away from that, but church people have to understand your pastor is not your therapist. This man is not licensed in therapy. So some stuff you can't go to him and talk about. You
Here's the
need
thing
to.
about that, Sean. You got to understand, black people are just getting to the point, first of all, where they can recognize a need for therapy and not demonize it. We just now crossed over. I really feel like
Some, it's not
You
a lot.
preaching, Marcellus. You
hang on,
preaching.
let me finish, let me get it out. Black people just crossed over into an area where we can deal with mental health and also deal with actually going to get counseling, and I do mean some, right? So we just crossed over a threshold here recently where we can literally talk about mental health issues in a respectful manner, because most church people have been raised and taught to believe if you have the anointing of God, God has anointed you for all of these areas. So these preachers are businessmen, counselors, they're musicians. I mean, they got every anoint. Oh, we call it anointment. Me and my friends, they anointment for everything. So here's the thing: when you have been taught that, you go to them thinking that God has endowed them with a special power and anointing that no one else has, and then you end up being let down or put in sometimes in a situation that you find yourself in an uncompromising position, uh physically and spiritually, with some of these people. And then you kind of, Sean, you're in a situation, and I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, but that we're taught, that is something that we're taught to. Because your mama's going, as soon as you do something bad in school, the first person she's going to talk to is the pastor. And 9 times out of 10, the pastor the one who was picking them up from school.
But the pastor is supposed to be the one to say, I don't know all the answers. You need to go get some help. But a lot of times they don't do that. They say, you don't need to go down there to that therapist. You need to get on your knees and pray that you ain't depressed. Quit saying you depressed.
Right now, Jesse, those types of pastors are typically unlearned men. What I've discovered, now this is gonna sound a little haughty and elite a little bit, but
Like,
the preachers that didn't read the books and go get an education, 9 times
mm-hmm,
out of 10 are the ones that think that
Okay.
you're not dealing with an issue, you just got a demon and you need to cast out the demon. No,
mm-hmm.
you might need to go to therapy. The
Or they
preacher
or they got their degree from Dollar Tree Ministry University.
So,
I'm going to tell
Yep.
y'all.
Marcellus, it's funny you mentioned it. Several years back, I encountered a woman when I was in my workplace. She, in the 90s, she had a very sketchy past. She, in a nutshell, she used to be a prostitute and a crack addict in
right.
Louisiana. So she did clean up her life,
Mm.
and she became a first lady of a church, relocated and became a first lady. And she was telling me how, the women in the church used to put her on a pedestal because she was the first lady and, think highly of her. And, things like that. But I guess she wasn't so transparent about who she was prior to her new role. And
Mm,
she would tell some of the ladies, hey, don't worship me. Don't put me on the pedestal because I may disappoint you.
right.
Um, Long story short, a lot of stuff started happening between her and her husband, to where they church kind of took a downfall, and the lady relapsed. She became a crack addict all over again. But
Mm,
you've heard the saying, once an addict always an addict. That's a constant struggle.
right.
But something we got to realize, these pastors, these are humans.
Right.
They're humans. We put
Absolutely.
too much, um you know we think they're perfect just because
Right.
they got on their suit and they got the mic in their hand, and we
Well,
really need to stop that.
right. If you give the person a title, apostle, one of my friends just now, his name is Andre. You know him as Conscious Christian on social media. Andre sent a message out today talking about the functions in ministry. And one of the things that he was talking about today, to piggyback on your point, is we give these people titles, or y'all turn them into offices when they're really functions. And you find yourself in a situation where you're going to face the humanity of these people, because God's going to always keep slapping us with the humanity of these men and women. The reason why these pastors and preachers a lot of times fall is because God is trying to get us to see that these are just men. I asked and I prayed about that. I was like, why do these people keep having all of these failures and stuff? God's going to always cause these people to come down. You know why? Because we have lifted them up. We lifted them up. And some of them lifted themselves, but we keep lifting them up. And until we can come to grips with the fact that, listen, Jesus said, if I be lifted up, he didn't say lift up your pastor. He didn't say lift up your preacher. Jesus didn't say none of that. I'm just talking about what Jesus said. Take it up with him. It's in the book. He said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men. Some of these people are going to hit the ground because they keep lifting themselves up and they're not lifting up Jesus. And I don't care what nobody say. You got to lift up Jesus. And at the end of the day, if the blood don't speak louder for all of us on Judgment Day, we're all screwed. I keep telling y'all that. But anyway, let me go back. I think, Sean, finish your point, Sean, and then I'll hush.
No, I was going to say, to piggyback off of that, people expect pastors to be perfect, and the pastors expect, because of their preaching, for the people to be perfect,
Mm,
when neither one is going to happen. What is happening in social media right now with these prophets and bishops, these are not just ministers, reverends,
mm,
elders, the what they would call the lower part of the ministry. These are bishops and prophets that are like, all of them is just stuff happening. But it's to show people these are just people. Y'all putting so much into them that we're putting more on the preachers. Now the sanctuaries is a movie theater. We've taken the worship away. It's never gone anywhere.
right.
Slowly but surely, everything in the church is going down. The
Well,
choirs,
I
the
think it's the
nurses.
yeah, I think it's the production value. And I'm gonna come to final comments now because we've been on here for 3 hours. Y'all listen to me. I think it's the production of it that's causing the dilemma, because church now is really becoming this huge production. And I don't know how we're going to get past this age or this time here with this production kind of church thing. But I think the reason why the worship is the way that it is and the man worship is the way that it is how it's being presented. Now I'm going to start with final comments because we got to get out of here. Jesse, you go ahead and give me your final comments, and then I'm going to go around and everybody give me your final comments, and then we're out of here. Start with you, Jesse. Go for it.
I'm gonna keep it short. Wash them bags,
Oh,
ladies. Good night, y'all.
Wash the bags. Yay. Lady.
that is funny. Leah.
I'm all for washing backs, and when I get a husband, I'm going to wash his back, and I'm going to oil it, And yeah, I'm going to make
Yeah.
sure that my husband is happy
Yeah.
spiritually, emotionally, physically.
Okay. Listen,
Hallelujah. I'm going to be a
I'm a
great
grown man. I'm gonna tell
companion.
you right now, everybody. I thank God for you washing my back, but I might want you to wash some other stuff too. That's all I'm
I'm just
saying. Thank you,
saying, I'm
Leah.
starting with the backs for those that may get
Yeah, I
offended,
know,
you
I
know.
know. Well, they can just be offended because it's this is grown up stuff. Y'all know how we talk. I appreciate you, Leah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Your wisdom and your patience really. I enjoy listening to you. Your wisdom and your patience really strikes me, so I enjoy it. So
Thank you.
you're
I
so
just wanted to
welcome.
tell everybody, please download my music. I have music. I have singles out on iTunes,
Do you want to
Spotify.
put a
You can
link
look
in the
me up on
chat? Go in the
YouTube.
chat and put some links in there
Yes.
before we get out of here.
Please
Uh,
stream my
so
music, y'all.
all right,
Thank you.
go get it. Put it in the chat so that way they can find out where to find you. Because
I
it
will.
did take me a minute to locate you. So I'm just
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it
We'll have to
did.
talk
It
about
took
that
me
in
a
the back
minute.
channel.
I was like, holy cow! You might need to get you a link tube link where you got a page where all your stuff is. You just put out one link and it'll take everybody to all your stuff.
Okay. I'm
You
gonna
know what
call
I'm
you. I'm gonna
saying?
hit you on the back end of that for
Okay.
that.
Link
Yeah.
free.
Because
Link
that'll
free.
make it easy for you. Because that way you get well, you always have one link and you can just go to this link. That's where everything is. So
Okay.
yeah, that would be really cool. All right. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Nice talking with you guys. Good
You're
night.
welcome. Thank you, Lex. I'm gonna go to you.
All I have to say, it was nice chatting with you.
Thank y'all.
Jesus is Lord, and that's about all I can. And I'm sure of that.
Right. I am too. And let me tell you, Jesus plus nothing equals everything. I
Good
tell you
night.
that is my life. Sean, I'm gonna come to you and get your final comments.
Okay, I just want to say, Leah, I will be downloading that because I watched St. James and she was singing her face off as she always does. So we got to support each other. Um, Thank you for having me on. That's all.
Oh, my moderator
What?
just told me only moderators can post links. Okay, Leah, just make sure you reach out to me, Leah, or send me. Doggone it, she done got off the live. Because she could have sent me the link in the private chat and I could have put it on there. So, Leah, if you want to run back real quick and hop up and give me the link, I can post it. But sorry to cut you off, Sean. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. Thank you for having me, Marcellus. I
No, that's
always
problem. I
enjoy.
enjoy your
I
commentary, and I don't always agree with
thank
everybody,
you.
but I do enjoy your commentary. Every now and then I'll skedaddle over there.
That's
Um,
what grown folks do.
but I'd be like, okay, I mean, as long as you fair, because I can take the bumps and the bruises too. I'm good. You don't have to agree with me, and I'll be like, okay, I understand your point. I'm a grown up, so I can take it. So
Yeah,
and
not
that's
agreeing with you don't mean I don't like you.
right. But you know what? That's the other thing that I like about Leah and I am Courtney and all you guys, because we don't have to agree, but we can just be respectful about it. And
Hmm.
that's what I enjoy. I really do. I enjoy talking to you guys. That's one of the reasons why I just like talking to you. Fridays is our day to go ham and to have our conversation. So I agree. So
I
thank you so much,
appreciate it.
Sean.
All right.
Y'all go over there and support Sean Talks as well. Daryl, are you awake?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I had to put you on mute only because there was a little bit of feedback coming on, sir. But hey, sir, give me your final thoughts, and it'll be peace out for you and me tonight, because I'll let you have the final words tonight.
I told y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been telling you since 2019 and everything. I ain't a prophet, but I see things.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think some people are now starting to see more than they ever have before, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And sometimes, Daryl, the difference between being prophetic and being considered a heretic or full of heresy is just time.
Mm-hmm.
See, when a prophet comes in the proper time or in their proper season, you know, the word can be received better. Sometimes when a prophet is ahead of time, or they're forging a path that people are unfamiliar with. And this is one of the reasons why I love my channel, is because I can be authentically myself. And I don't care what these other Christians think or what they say on who's saved and who not saved. Listen, you don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in. So
Right.
the best thing to do is to just pray for people, let people be where they are, have good conversations, and live your life, in a way, in a manner that people will come to you and say, hey, give me some more information about this Jesus that you're talking about. That's how I think life should be lived. And that's how I live my life. Even when I have with my 7-day Adventist friends, when I talk to them about all kinds of stuff, we have great conversation. Even my Muslim friends, we have great conversations. So that's how life's supposed to be lived. So shout out to you guys. I know, Daryl, you're going to be doing a live. You said you hadn't made up the day when you're going to do it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something this weekend because I want, now that the Jake's case is moving forward, I want to explain to people what's about to happen next and explain what the steps are all about.
Right. So Daryl's going to be doing that over on his channel, guys. So you guys need to go over there. If you haven't subscribed to the Daryl Moore channel, you guys should go over there and take care of that expeditiously, because Daryl is always going to give you some really good information. You're going to learn something now, that's for sure. So you can go over there and support Daryl Moore. All right, guys, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'm going downstairs to make me some taquitos, and I'm gonna probably have me some taquitos and wine. That's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna finish my night with taquitos and wine. God bless y'all. Enjoy your Friday. I appreciate every one of you. Thank y'all. Support the channel. The Cash App information is in the description. Y'all reach out and support the channel. Love you guys much. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here, so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.